Ooh, who am I?
I love this game. It's always a fun game. I don't
Man,
think they know who you are, though.
and we haven't been rated yet.
Oh, we'll never get rated.
What?
I say as if it isn't. We're not rated every single time.
Okay. I was like, this is tea that should have been spilled last weekend.
No. We're back for the top 4. Slab Sharks versus Enter the Battlefield with ICL on a Wednesday, as the wonderful JDZ would say. But
A through JDZ, I
yep,
like to call them.
but I am not that. Why don't you tell us about yourself a little bit, guest number 1? Whichever one of you wants to be guest number 1 can start talking.
I prefer to be a number 2. So,
Sure. Guest number 1 played at the DLC this past weekend. Did completely awful at the DLC this past weekend, I guess I should say. I was tables ahead of A to JDZ a few times. I did drop below him once, but then I went back above him again. One of my teammates did make day 2, so there's that. I like to cast. I think I'm better at casting than playing, apparently.
that's it. Same for me.
A lot of people say that.
Let's see. I mean, what can I say that's not a dead giveaway? I've got blue hair, for God's sake.
I'm actually trying to decide what color to dye my hair.
Oh, okay. Now that's a topic. All right,
Yeah.
because you have one thing you have to consider is what it's going to look like when it fades.
Yeah, it's I mean, I also have to decide, like, cuz half my hair is white.
Hmm.
So it's just like, how's that going to look?
Some people it stays in the white. Some people the white won't take whatsoever without bleach.
No.
I
My
feel like you should do green so that when you don't have the green screen, you can green screen it.
Oh no. I can't do green now that you say that. What does the blue fade to?
like aqua, like just like this weird greenish, because it's going to be mostly yellow underneath, right?
It,
That's why I go at red a lot, because then you just end up pink, and people think that's natural. Like, oh, they tried for pink,
so you
not they
don't think the
haven't.
blue will stick to the white without, like, what if I get lucky and I don't have to bleach it?
Well, I was gonna say at least it doesn't cost you much to try, because a tube of dye is like 9 something at Sally's. It's the bleach that's expensive. So my great grandmother just puts in the dye every like day or two. She has full white hair. She's in her 80s. And she likes to do it pink and blue.
Huh. Adorable.
Yeah. But
Right.
I love that.
We've got no guesses yet, so I guess we can just show our faces.
all right, jump
Oh
scare.
boy, here we go.
Jump scare alert from
Jump
me.
scare.
Hey.
We made it. We made it to getting to the finals. This is top 4, right?
Top
Yeah,
4.
semifinals.
Yeah, Slab Sharks versus a team I've never heard of before. So this is gonna be fun.
Never, yeah. Have you ever
Did
heard of
we?
this Habibi person before? Elias? I don't know.
So yeah, Habibi I've never heard of. Matt's an all-star, right? Habibi, I'm pretty sure is let me read his accomplishments. Well, Matthew over here has 4 let it goes, 0 top cuts, sunglasses emoji. Second place at
That's
Glass City.
that's not true anymore.
He has a top cut now?
He got 31st at the
Nice.
DLC last weekend.
Congratulations. Whose job is it to update this? Katie? Come on. What were you casting all weekend? Get on it. Top 60 at CCS. Whereas this other guy looks like he made up all these accomplishments, because I've never seen him before in my life. Have you guys seen this guy?
Never.
He looks very different from his Twitter picture.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't remember what his Twitter picture is. But Our wonderful judge and digital assistant or digital design assistant. I don't even know what title she has. Alex has been assisting us in these, and we are not updating the cards every week. That's a lot of
Makes
work.
sense. Makes
That's a lot
sense.
of work.
Yeah, I was half expecting you to throw up a card of me that says I am Lorcana Villain's underling. So
Well, that takes effort, and I don't know if you know this about me, but minimal effort.
oh, I know. I've casted here before. I've casted on my own channel before. Well, Willoughby's channel. I don't own it. In which we had a conversation about this weekend, and that was a fun casting experience of me trying to keep track of the lore and the game because Willow was dead tired from working all day. I'm just
These
glad
are
we didn't have a
the
card tracker.
Yeah, these are the skills required to be a caster. You have to track lore as it's going. It's like you're a judge plus.
Yeah,
You have to chat about it the whole time. Yeah, Dakota has
You
some
gotta
fans in chat.
differentiate ink. Oh boy, nice.
exit full screen here.
Yeah, you gotta make sure you keep track of the ink too, and be able to discern when people use the black sleeves because they're very hard to tell.
I
Yeah,
can't.
or
I cannot remember what Matthew played this weekend. If it was Blurple or Amber Amethyst. Pretty sure Habibi was on the Doggos, right?
yep,
I
Habibi
believe
actually
so. Yeah.
lost to a local friend of mine, Tiffany. It was her first DLC, so super hype for her. Also, her
Oh,
first day too. I
she
should
had to
just quit
feel
playing.
amazing about that.
Oh yeah, I watched over that game because I was so hyped that she was playing Habibi. So who I've never heard of. I mean,
Yeah, I know. You're like, I'm so hyped for her to play this person. He seems to be popular. Like all these people know him,
yeah.
but you know
So
nothing.
So Matt, he was second place at the Glass City Showdown Toledo, and then at our 13K that Luke and I casted, he was one of our bounty players there. So
Ooh.
nice.
I believe he made it pretty
I'm
far before they got the bounty.
finally hitting that rating party. About time, JDC. Give up the spotlight every once in a while.
And we've
He knows
got
I love him.
JDZ here. Let's see if he makes it play in my ear or not. I have the alerts turned off for the ICL though, sadly.
Well, we got AJ in the chat. Prodigy Player 12, his first DLC as well. And amazing experience he had. The amount of people I introduced him to that already knew his name, including Lorcana Villain, blew his mind. And, I appreciate the community so much for that. Like I was worried, that he was going to be a bit overwhelmed considering, it's his first card game, it's his first DLC. There's thousands of people there, but everyone made it a great experience. This community is second to none.
Very much so.
Fumbles is saying we need to show Matt Petal's top 32 pick.
I can only scroll so fast. I'm actively looking for it actually, but
Nice.
I don't know where it is apparently.
Got Fumbles in the chat. Fumbles also had a great DLC run, right?
Yeah.
I remember him getting absolutely swarmed after Saturday. I was like, I'm someone that gets overwhelmed. I'm gonna abstain from that. I'll talk to him later. But
Fumbles needs to tag me if he wants that photo shown, but I'll happily do that. I was gonna play the "O Canada" song, but I couldn't.
Do it.
That Fumbles posted. Oh, I think I just got tagged. I was on the wrong channel. That's why.
Mr. Burns, how did you do at the deal? Good.
how did I do at the DLC? I did everything I wanted to do, which was get a Mulan and meet amazing people. This was my favorite DLC I have ever been to in my entire life. And I've been to Japan. I've been to Italy. Like, this was fantastic. I was shocked, honestly.
Yeah, I thought they did a really good job, and The amount of space we had was great. Having the
Absolutely.
on-demand in the other room was awesome. Yeah, there it is.
That's a handsome guy.
Love that.
Yeah, like the Friday event, the fact that there were Friday events was announced a little late, right? Was that because they got a second room? And if so, props to them because there's 20,000 cheerleaders in that hall. uh, I love that. I walked in Saturday. Security guard looks right at me and goes, "Yeah, the cards are that way." I thought that was top tier. I
You
wish
came
I
to
was
the
recording.
wrong neighborhood.
Yeah, I
Yours
absolutely
is
wish
over
I was
there.
recording. Oh man,
I got
Yeah.
Hey this weekend at the DLC, so that was
you got
pretty cool.
Hey.
Yeah, they give you a bag tag and everything. It was super cool.
Nice. I
A
thought you
bag
meant someone
tag.
blue steeled you to death.
Yeah, it's just a little bag tag. You put your name on and stuff, and on the front it says "I got Hey at Richmond DLC." It was
Suspicious.
I think there was like 8 of them that were wearing the Hey hat.
Oh, okay, okay. I saw
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
there was a
Unfortunately,
lot of great cosplay this weekend too.
Oh yeah.
I think I saw 2 different ones with like giant cards that they went through as well.
that's Thomas. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
awesome.
really puts effort in. He buys those from his local game store. I'm not sponsored by them, so I'm not saying the name of it. But he could come up and chat whenever he wants. But yeah, he was fantastic. The amount of people who came up to me and said, "Oh, you're like bounding as Hades." I was like, "Absolutely." That's exactly what I was thinking when my wife pulled this color randomly out of our closet Wednesday night. But yeah, I see Chicano Heat in the chat. I'm never gonna take it back, bud.
Did you have like a purple shirt or anything like that?
I was wearing this shirt. Oh my god! And it's in the wash right now. The tie. I don't know if you saw the tie I was wearing. It had all the villains on it. I graduated middle school wearing that tie. It was way too short. So what I did was just pinned it so it looked like a full size tie. It went down to a full size tie, but if you looked at the back, the tail was about that long. But that got a lot of compliments, which I appreciated. Now I gotta look on eBay see if I can find a real one. I don't buy anything firsthand, so
Yeah, I don't remember seeing it, but now I wish I did. I'm gonna have to look to see. I think I got a selfie with you at least once. Maybe I didn't. Once, like
yeah,
I
I
feel
don't
like
think so.
I feel like my selfie game really has dropped down this season. I'm just not using.
Who's that mystery voice?
Boom. Well, now he's not a mystery. He's here.
Hello. What's up, gentlemen?
What is going on? I mean,
I'm-
Hello.
you
I'm
just
ready for
flew
some
all the way
playoffs.
here from JDZ's stream. That's amazing.
Yeah, all
Yeah,
the way
what
from
kind of turnaround time is that?
sunny Washington. I'm here and ready for the battle for Canada's soul between ETB and Team Slab Sharks.
Yeah, if there's a podcast, Garrick is here.
Yeah.
Although I
Not a
heard
podcast.
JD is looking for a new, or at least that was the running bit this afternoon.
I'll jump in with JDZ. I'll get him demonetized.
He just got partners. The perfect time.
Yeah.
Right?
Lucky for him, it's Mr. Burns now. I'm a good boy. I'm a good noodle.
Nice.
I don't know what anyone's talking about. Last year, I
Or
don't know
should
what
I
you're talking
say
about.
excellent.
Yes, I was just born in 2026.
So, are the Simpsons on Disney Plus? Is that
Yeah.
So? Is the
They own
Simpsons do they actually own the?
They
No,
own the Simpsons. It might not be on Disney Plus, but they do own the Simpsons.
It is.
They don't own the theme park rights to it yet. They got a couple of
Oh
years.
man.
Yeah,
But-
Universal Studios has it.
So when are we getting like "Eat My Shorts" the song or something like that?
Oh God! Did anyone used to play the Simpsons trading card game?
I didn't know they
there was
had
I
one.
played Simpsons Tapped
I
Out.
remember it.
Wizards of the Coast made it. It was a multiplayer game, and I would always play as Mr. Burns, unironically, because he made everyone lose a lore every turn.
Wow. That's appropriate, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Absolutely.
there could be a bunch of great Simpsons songs. You have the Sharps, the B Sharps. They have a bunch of Disney ones as well. See my vest, see my vest. That is a Mr. Burns song as well.
We have locations. There's the tree house. We
yeah,
can go up on the
we're onto
spaceship.
something here. We're onto
Yeah.
something here.
Pick us up, Rav. We can make an expansion in 2035.
And I'm pretty sure they have official like Disney Walt Animation Studios crossover, like shorts and stuff with like Disney princesses and everything. I think there's one where like Lisa becomes a Disney princess. So
Really?
I mean, it's all there. Yeah.
I knew they had Fortnite crossovers, which were very weird episodes, I'll tell you.
I did not watch those, but
All right.
You weren't
Disney
missing
Lorcana
out.
trading card game Universes Beyond.
Yeah.
there you go.
And oddly, it wouldn't bother me with this game, but I did not like that in the other game. But
Oh yeah.
I guess it's because of the type of. It's already universes beyond in a manner, right? We've got all these different Disney franchises mixed together. It's kind of like what's the Keyblade game called that I've never played that you love, Garrick?
Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom
Kingdom
Hearts. You need me to get my Keyblade out?
Yes,
I have
please,
it.
right now.
I'll get
It's
it
They,
within
they
arm's
also have a
reach,
trading
right?
card game.
That's not just Kingdom Hearts, though, right? Isn't it like just Final Fantasy in general?
I think it was a Japanese exclusive.
Oh,
The Kingdom Hearts trading card game. Might be wrong.
I'm excited. I'm excited for when we start getting park IP and stuff like that. So you could get like Cinderella Castle, you could get, Pirates of the Caribbean, Small World, and then you could get those, Figment, Orange Bird, things like that.
Yeah.
oh, well,
That'll
I was
be
going to
cool.
say I think they can already do Cinderella's Castle, but
Right.
Pirates of the Caribbean, that I don't know. Are we going to get more like live action Disney movies?
If they do, I want Chippendale. The live action Chippendale was
you
fire.
can get ugly Sonic in the game.
Oh, I'd love Ugly Sonic. Oh man.
Shout out Tim Robinson. Yeah, I think if we did live action, the only one I would accept, and this is, I will say, it's a complete and total utter personal bias, would be Pirates of the Caribbean. If I saw a Na'vi grace my Disney Lorcana game, I might crash out a little bit.
That's
But
Disney?
that's personal.
I didn't
yeah.
know Avatar was Disney.
They have a whole Avatar
They have a
section
land.
in anime.
Yeah.
I didn't go to that
Right.
area.
Okay.
But
Fair enough.
I'm randomly planning a trip to Disneyland now.
Did you? Are you?
I wonder why.
Brag.
Are you inviting us?
I mean, if you're going to go to Disneyland around the time of the LCQs during Continentals, then yes.
All right, I'll be there.
I'm assuming most of you are going to try to go. The amount of I want to see tons of Lorcana players there. It'd be pretty fun.
Yeah. I didn't go last year because it was single elimination.
Yeah.
And
I got
Limited-
eliminated singly in
game.
the first round, which was not great. And then Then they give you tickets to like go play Pack Rush. I played Pack Rush to get like my non-foil Baymax in Cusco. The poor guy I played against, of course, also lost in the first round because we all took a sad march up to that area. And we sat down, we played against each other, completely demoralized. I beat him and I took the packs. And the first pack I opened was an Enchanted and he lost his mind.
Wow.
As you do. I was like, man, that's tough.
and now he's playing different trading card games.
I mean,
but yeah,
yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Wonder.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, it took me forever to open Enchanted, like 4 or 5 sets into the game, and I watched people open them around me too. It never took me off the game, but man, is it always just like, oh, so close, so close.
Yeah, I grinded the people didn't know how shipping worked on TCG player grind for like the first 3 sets,
Oh,
where people
yeah.
would list like starter decks for $5 with $10 shipping.
And you would order like
And-
10 things.
I'd order 100 of them. Yeah, and then I would just crack them for the boosties, and then sell the loose decks. So
Lots of ways to do that. But where it's almost time to play, let's get some predictions in on who we think is gonna win this first round. I mean, I'm assuming Mr. Burns is gonna say that Haymaker, aka Matthew Peddle, is gonna win against Habibi, since he's never heard of Habibi before.
Yeah, I've got to pick the only person that I've heard of on a team that I've heard of for sure. So I've this one I'm real confident in. I've got 100 BIC dollars on this one. So Mr. Burns Bucks are going right there to Matthew.
Burns Bucks. All right, Dakota.
Does Habibi have food poisoning today? If he doesn't, then I'll take Habibi.
That's fair.
We just picking this game, or are we picking the whole set?
This game and set. You can do either.
You know what? I'll pick ETB, Habibi, to get this win, as well as the whole team. And I'll say, as the defending champs, they've got something to prove. I think they're on a bit of a heater here. I'll say they sweep, full sweep, but I do love the Slab Sharks. But
the full sweep, the 2-0-2-0. We don't have to do the 3-0 because
I mean, you know what? I said it. I'll stick to it.
They're going to play an extra game for fun, and they'll go 3-0.
If they want to, they'll 2-0 that as well.
So
ETB.
So I don't know. ETB probably doesn't want me to say they'll win because I have had the Caster's Curse plenty of times. But I think it's easy to vote for Slab Sharks. Both these teams dominated their divisions, if I remember correctly. Slab Sharks, though, has had more 3-0 sweeps than any other team, I do believe. I like all the people basically on both teams. I actually know them, unlike Mr. Burns here. But I
don't know.
I think it's going to be a Canadian upset. So if I vote for Slab Sharks here,
what? Are they both Canadian?
Someone's got a money in the bank briefcase. They're gonna cash in. Villain Club is back.
Villain Club. Oh,
that's actually why I'm here.
But if I say Slab Sharks going to win, it's like I'm saying both teams win because ETB thinks I'm cursed and Slab Sharks believes in me. So I'm gonna go for Slab Sharks.
There you go. Playing both sides, so you always come out on top. Classic.
Yes. Am I that transparent? Apparently. I do have to fix the board really quickly because I'm silly and had the wrong side.
All good. We have no clue what these players are playing. Do we have any predictions for match number 1?
I mean, someone's got to let the dogs out.
Mm-hmm.
So based off of this,
that would be this guy I've never heard of before.
Yeah.
And Matt would be Blurple.
Dogs versus Blurple.
Okay. I'm changing that bet.
I'm gonna say, with that in mind,
I'm $2 confident at this point. I'll take the 100 back and put it in the pocket.
So, do you still think that the unnamed person will win? Do you think Dogs will win, or do you think Blurple, if those are the decks you predict?
I'm still going with Slab Sharks. Might just be that I'm rooting for Slab Sharks,
Fumbles.
I'm going to stick with Habibi.
Dogs is a free win for Blurp in the chat. Shout out Fumbles.
That's crazy.
Also in the top cut here in the playoffs, actually, of the ICL. Shout out Fumbles. Been putting in a lot of work this season.
Oh, yeah.
Love Fumbles. Slab Sharks on the play. That's what chat's saying.
Dude, one of my favorite things about the ICL this season has been betting the channel points. I was so down, and now I am so up. I need to get really back, though, because I really only have 8K. I was rocking like 50K. Lost it all.
Crazy.
All right, we're good to go. Let's do this. Bye-bye.
And here we are, locked
right.
and laser focus for game number 1 of match number 1 between Haymaker and Habibi. Haymaker of the Slab Sharks is going to start off with that Elsa into the Inkwell, and we do see Blurple as the Basil comes down. Dakota, do you think we will see the dogs barking on the opposite side here for Habibi and enter the battlefield?
I mean, based off the rest of the season, I am fairly confident we are going to see dogs here. I'm still sticking with Habibi, though. I think, yeah, there it is. All right. We see the Daisy Duck come down first here. Could help, could hurt the Blurple here. It could throw away some of those into the unknowns, so that would be helpful for the dogs.
Yeah, absolutely. Daisy, one of the best one drops in the game. That 1/4 stat line, questing for 2, just so powerful and can sometimes just bottom the right card at the right moment to win you a game. It's supposed to be a downside most of the time, allowing your opponent to draw a card, but bottoming a card can be really crucial. As you mentioned, we're going to see a Bobby Zimmerowski come down here. We're going to draw a card and discard a card on the side of Habibi. One of the cards that is really good to discard in this list would be that Lilo Escape Artist, which you can get back later in the game. But the Dogs has a lot of cards that can sort of get stuck in their hand that they might want to get rid of. Big uninkables that they're not going to make use of, at least immediately.
Yeah. I mean, discard is the name of the Dogs, right? Once they get to the Tramp 7, they start discarding a lot of cards really fast.
Mm-hmm.
So we do see the Chromicon go to the discard there, getting rid of one of those uninkables, like you said.
Yeah, opting not to quest with the Daisy here. What do you think of that?
So I think it's interesting because the Daisy would only put 1 damage onto that Tipo, and again, the cat could come down like we just saw there, moving that damage back over and taking out the Daisy pretty much for free. And you don't want that. You want to have as many characters on board to start singing songs with.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Dogs is an interesting aggro deck because it is one that can just stand still for a while. And by that, I mean, they don't necessarily need to quest right away. They can get a very wide board and basically quest for game in just 2 turns or so. So right now we see Habibi employing that strategy a little bit as Lady comes down to bring another Lady with her. 2 Lady Glimmers on the board for just 3 ink. But going into the Blurple matchup, you don't really need to worry about a board wipe. The only thing you need to be concerned with keeping your characters unexerted is something like Elsa the Fifth Spirit, which we could see come down on this turn, or sorry, ink number 5, turn number 4 for Haymaker.
And that also the Fifth Spirit could really do some damage to the dog strategy, right? It not only will exert a character, the Elsa could swing into it, but then on top of it, that Cheshire Cat can then move that damage off that Elsa back onto another one of your dogs, removing another character.
Yeah, so what is the option here? We go for the Lady, which Elsa can cleanly remove by herself. No Basil assistance needed.
Cleanly removes it, only has 2 damage put on, which is exactly what the cat can move over when it's boosted. So I think that's the right play, and one of the only 2 questers that it can cleanly take out.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do see the Tramp come down, one of the best cards, in my opinion, in Disney Lorcana in the entire game, able to come down for 1 less for each character that you have out on the board. Draw as many cards as characters you have and then discard that many. It is the best filtering tool in the game, especially in this sort of build where you can get so many characters out and look for the exact card you need, whether that's another Tramp, an Under the Sea, or even a Della Moon's Lullaby, for example.
I didn't catch all the cards that went down, but there was a Finnick, there was a Lady. I didn't catch the other 2 that were discarded. It was a pretty fast discard, though, so that tells me that Habibi did find whatever he was looking for.
And there comes the Demona, the Scourge of the Wyvern clan, one of the most powerful Amethyst cards added in the Whispers in the Well set, exerting every single one of Habibi's characters. And now Haymaker has every option in the world to remove this board as cleanly as he possibly can. He's got 4 challengers or can boost something with the Basil quest and support. So right now, really can do whatever he wants. And this is the power of Demona. And Habibi wasn't even able to draw a full 3 cards there, which is normally a negative when you play Demona as the Amethyst player.
Yeah, and the Blurple being able to fully refill his hand there is huge, right? You don't want Blurple having more cards.
So we use the Basil support in concert with the Elsa to remove one of the daisies. Lady will be removed by Cheshire Cat, and we are going to challenge in, or no, we're just going to go for a quest with the Tipo. So BB still has somewhat of a board here, but 0 lore notably. Haymaker 3 cards in hand, and a much more terrifying board at this point. Even if you were to sing something like Under the Sea, you're only removing 2 characters on, or sorry, 3 characters on the side of Haymaker.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that he took out the daisy, one of the 2 daisies, instead of the 7-cost tramp there. Could have just cleanly removed that tramp with Elsa and Cheshire Cat with the support of the Basil, but decided to opt and take out more characters than just the big hitter there.
Yeah, we see Daisy and a lady go into the discard and getting rid of the tramp.
Oh,
So what he has in hand must be super useful, and that is going to be the Under the Sea, removing Tipo, Basil, and Elsa from the board. These will go to the bottom of the deck, and the player of the song card gets to choose the order. So we resolve that. And right now, things are
Easy
looking a
trigger.
bit more manageable for Habibi.
And the daisy trigger hits a sale, so it did bottom a card. Didn't help out Matt at all here. It's doing what it should be doing for Habibi there.
Yeah, absolutely. And only 1 damage right now to move with the Cheshire Cat, which is not the most in the world. Can add to that if you wanted to challenge into the tramp, for example, and then boost into it. But you want to make sure that you use the most damage you possibly can when using that boost ability, which is 2. Sometimes 1 is just good enough. It is up to, as we see Elsa, the 5th Spirit, come down yet again. We're going to exert the other tramp, but do not have enough ink left over to use the boost ability. So right now, with the Demona and the Elsa, can take out the tramp if Haymaker decides to.
He did exert 7 there, so paid
Oh,
for
you're
the
right. He
Elsa,
did.
but yeah, there. Okay,
There's the
now
boost.
we're boosting the cat. Just got a little ahead of ourselves on the ink. We're moving 2 over to the tramp. Takes it out. Looks like we have 1, maybe 2 cards in hand, so that Demona can ready next turn.
Yeah, that's something you always have to keep in mind when using these Gargoyles cards. It is the fact that they will stay exerted if you have 3 cards, and we do get the 3rd card off of the Daisy, which is really,
So
really fun interaction there.
that's a very interesting way for the Daisy to be used to keep that Demona exerted. A very risky way as well.
Yeah, for sure. As Gogo is going to come down here and gain 1 lore. Unfortunately for Gogo, Cheshire Cat is a really, really good card to keep damage off of your characters. I would say in the last set, we saw in that fabled meta that these Blurple decks were able to put down a lot of characters with really big willpower that were able to challenge in over and over and over again, such as Hades, Iago, Elsa the 5th Spirit, and they held a lot of damage. So Gogo could really take advantage of that. Cheshire Cat helps mitigate that issue by having the boost ability to move damage off. So it is a really, really versatile card and one of my favorite cards in the game right now, this Cheshire Cat.
I would argue to say that the Cheshire Cat's probably one of the most playable and best cards out of the new set here.
Oh, yeah, of course. Of course. I absolutely love that card. And the Demona. We saw Hades go into the Inkwell. As a Hades comes down on board, he's going to remove that tramp. Haymaker finding everything he needs right now, as we are not going to scoop it up. I thought that's what we were doing for a second, but just removing the Daisy there. Habibi said, I'm not quitting yet. I'm at 7, almost halfway there. Let's see what's in the hand. Double Genie's
Double
pretty
Genie.
good. Final
Paying
card
1
here.
for A Webby.
We might be getting a challenge here. Yeah, getting rid of that troublesome Cheshire Cat who had a Junior Woodchuck guidebook hidden underneath him. So when you are the dogs player and you are doing the challenging, that is never a good sign, as we're going to get a genie onto the board, draw a card. Likely going to see that second genie, slams it, immediately draw another. Now Haymaker is putting an insane clock on Habibi right now with all this questing power on the board, as we're going to get a Mighty Quest in for 5. And next turn, we can quest
Question for
all the way
10.
up to 17. Yeah.
Huge.
Bobby,
So
I
we see
don't
the
think
Bobby
it's gonna
come
get
down.
done.
No. Yeah, I don't think there's much that Habibi can do here. Not enough singing power on board. All the characters on the other side are much larger. At least the Hades and the Demona would stay from Under the Sea.
Mhm.
We didn't get a Chromacon out to bounce things back. We do see a Woodchuck guidebook there that can be used at any time to get even more threats.
Yeah, what do you think the ideal turn is to deploy the Chromacon if you're on the play as the dogs player against Blurple? Is it just any time before they get to that 5th ink and can Elsa?
Yeah, I think if you can play it out right before that Elsa, that's probably your best bet. If not, you definitely need it out before that Demona.
Yeah, absolutely. The Amethyst color, getting the ability to exert your opponent's characters with reliability and draw you cards at the same time has proven to be incredibly powerful in this Whispers in the Well meta, as Haymaker is able to take it decisively in game number 1. We scooped it up at 9-9, but make no mistake, that game was going to go to Haymaker. Just was able to find everything that they needed. Starting off with that Basil can sort of freeze the board, as we saw the Daisy was not able to quest early, and then you get the Cheshire Cat down, followed by Elsa, followed by Demona, which was really the nail in the coffin just on that turn number 5. But Habibi going to be on the play here, going to look for a little bit of a faster start for sure.
One thing that I'm interested in on Haymaker's side is to see if he has the Wasabi in his deck. A lot of the Blurple players this weekend were playing the Wasabi, which banishes an item and gives that player 1 lore for it. So when a Chromacon does come down, you could get rid of it and then continue to banish the rest of the board after that.
Yeah.
It slows down the Blurple decks just a hair and could be enough for dogs to sneak the win out there, but I don't know if he's playing it in his deck or not.
What are we doing over here on Haymaker's side? Is this a shuffle? Is this a cut?
Oh boy.
Habibi's up to it as well. It must be a Canadian thing. Chat,
Leave it to the Canadians.
please explain what is going on here. We are cutting the decks. At least I think so.
If not, it's a really great pile shuffle.
Yeah, okay. They are cutting the decks. The most interesting deck cutting phase you will ever see in Disney Lorcana, I think. And they just decide, you know what, this is too much work. Let's just all mash them together for the most convoluted mash shuffle that we've ever seen in our lives.
Yeah, the issue with that deck cut was you have to be able to count to 12. I know that is sometimes a challenge for people.
That is a challenge. We didn't need to do that much counting, as Haymaker could only quest for 10 in one turn. We'll see if one of these players is able to quest up to 12 with just one turn of questing as we get into the altar phase here. If you're Habibi, what are you looking for? Are you just looking for, I mean, ideally, I guess you just want like triple Daisy or like triple Nala into a Tramp.
Triple Daisy and Tramp would be great.
Yeah. I think I agree with you, though, that Chromacon would be nice to have. We did see it get discarded, however, on turn number 2 by Habibi early in that game number 1, opting not to keep the Chromacon in hand.
And I think the Chromacon is important in this matchup because either it forces your opponent to have the Wasabi or any kind of item removal, or they have to deal with that math of when to quest, when to bounce, when to challenge, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and Chromacon can just make things very, very frustrating. You have to remember all of the proper sequencing that you want to do to kind of min-max your turn, get the most lore that you possibly can, and get the most challenging in that you possibly can without losing any of that. And it is a pretty difficult card to play with, which is why we saw a lot of players over the Richmond weekend decide to opt out of thinking and, tech in things like Wasabi, tech in things like Benja, and of course, Clarabelle can also remove items as a secondary ability as well.
And something to remember for those watching, the Chromacon can bounce your own stuff back, so you also don't want to give them the opportunity to bounce their own tramp back, which then they could filter through their deck even more.
We are
So we
going
see
to
a lady
see
for a lady.
Yep. He wants to get off to a much, much faster start, but Basil is going to be a little bit of a thorn in Habibi's side, as we saw in the last match as another Bobby comes down. Let's see what he decides to discard this time. Lilo.
Hey, he's got the Lilo.
Yeah.
Thinking of Mowgli for another lady.
Okay, this is kind of what we needed to see here with the ladies. If we can get into a tramp here, we can get our questing power way, way up really, really quickly. We'll see if Haymaker is able to get into that turn 2 ramp in the form of Tipo or Sail the Azurite Sea, as all Sapphire decks love to do, and there is Tipo, the MVP of DLC Richmond and JDZ Quest's favorite card in the game.
Yeah, that TiVo questing for 2 at the end of DLC Richmond was wild.
There it is. We called it. Triple lady and a tramp. That's all you need. As Habibi is thinking here, are we going to start questing? No, we are going to pass it. We cannot Elsa next turn, so we have a little bit more time here. Let's see if we get into the Cheshire Cat on turn number 4, or we might find something like a Genie. Yago could be pretty big here, as it is a great way to challenge turn after turn after turn.
Yeah, I think Genie would be a huge card. You get the benefit of added resources, plus it's has that 4 willpower there that is fairly good against the dogs matchup here. Inking and Into the Unknown. So one of the removals is now gone.
Yep. And there is the Iago giant spectral parrot, the 4/6. I think a lot of people were really, really worried about seeing this card over the weekend, teching in tons and tons of answers, but it is very troublesome. Speaking of answers, there is the Della Moon's Lullaby, which will remove the Iago from the board. It gets targeted and its strength gets reduced by 2, and you get to draw a card. This is a great card to not just get rid of Iagos, but you can pair it with Under the Sea to get rid of things that normally wouldn't get hit by that card. So it is a great, great option that the Dogs decks were able to find here in Whispers in the Well, as we are able to remove the Iago, put down a Bobby, and play down a Tramp in the same turn. This is huge for Habibi, and looking way better as we find another Tramp.
Woo! Yeah, that tramp came down the first time. We were able to draw 6 and discard 6. Now the second tramp, we can draw 7 and discard 7.
There it is. Not too much loss there, I don't think. You still have more tramps in the deck for sure. And we are going to get these ladies, these bobbies exerted as all the dogs are going on a quest here.
Yeah, Habibi is really trying to run with this game now. We see a Hypnotic Strength come in to buff the Tipo there. So it is now a 3/2 and get to draw a card.
Yeah, Hypnotic Strength does give the Tipo a better ability to challenge, but you're not putting more characters on the board with that. But we do find the Cheshire Cat here for the remaining 3 ink, which is pretty good here. It will definitely help you battle against the mighty army of dogs that you're facing down against. But Haymaker thinking about which lady he would like to challenge into.
Maybe just reading his own card, you know?
Admiring it. I believe that is the play promo that you get for attending Weekly League. But we do not opt to remove that lady. We go for both of the ladies at Quest for 2 as long as a tramp is on the board. We're going to play the Lilo from the discard pile with the only 2 ink that we have, by the way. As Habibi thinking about what we're going to get into here. Going to Quest for 4 with the tramps. Now, do we want to challenge into the Tipo here? It is
I think it
something
might
to
be a
think
good idea
about.
just to get that damage off of the board, right? But you are waiting for a clapback from that Cheshire Cat there that'll still end up moving damage in the long run. But
Nope.
4
We're just
away
gonna
from
go to
Lorthal.
16. Yeah. And we're going to
Oh,
scoop it
there's the
up.
scoop.
Yeah, that is what the Dogs player wants to see against these control matchups, is just getting as wide as possible, as quick as possible, and just exerting too fast for them. We couldn't even get to Elsa. We couldn't even get to Demona. There was nothing to think about in that game for Habibi other than how many characters can I possibly get down onto this board with 2 ink. And it turns out quite a bit, especially when one of them is free.
Yeah, first game, Haymaker said, "Oh, you're not that fast," and then this game, Habibi came back with, "But I'm much faster." So here we are.
Absolutely. And Haymaker, though, going to be on the play here, which is really, really good for Sapphire decks. Of course, being on the draw with the Sapphire deck doesn't feel as bad as other decks because you can use that turn 2 ramp to get you up in ink and essentially take the tempo away from your opponent as you're able to get cards, more expensive cards, down more quickly. But when you're on the play, it makes that ramp even more punishing for your opponents to deal with. We're going to get to that Elsa on turn number 4. We're going to get to that Demona on turn number 5. You need these turns as an aggressive player to get the lore on the board before those pseudo board wipes come down in the form of Demona.
So for Haymaker here, the most important thing that he needs to see is the ramp. Habibi being on the draw, what do you believe the most important thing he needs to see here is?
Man, I want to say it might be the Chromacon, honestly. I mean, the Blurple deck does have ways to get rid of their opponent's characters without challenging them. They have, of course, Hades, the Infernal Schemer, as well as Into the Unknown. But for the most part, they're going to be challenging in. We've talked about Elsa. We've talked about Demona. Even Cheshire Cat would trigger the ability of the Emerald Chromacon because it just looks at whether the card was banished or not. So there are options to remove these cards from the board without doing that, but they are few and far between, and they're not the easiest cards to always use. You might have to ink your own Into the Unknown, and of course, Hades, the Infernal Schemer, costs 7 and is uninkable. So that's going to take an entire turn to remove a character. So I would think you would want to get to that Emerald Chromacon and make things a lot more difficult for your Blurple opponent, as they are going to need to challenge into your characters throughout the game.
We do see Habibi alter 6 cards here, so that's a fairly large change. Didn't see what he wanted there. Maybe digging for that Chromacon.
Yeah, absolutely. Habibi knows exactly what he's looking for here on the draw. A very, very seasoned player of this dog strategy, as we see the Royal Guard come down onto the board. I'm a big fan of this card, especially in this set. In combination with Demona, it's just so powerful. And there's the Webby Vanderquack. If we can get that shift online, we can kind of punish the Sapphire deck for inking up and ramping ahead of us.
In the Royal Guard debate, are you a Palace Guard or a Royal Guard?
I'm a Royal Guard man myself.
All right.
As we see another come down, we have 2 here as we were able to sail ink additionally for the turn and provide ourselves with another challenger onto the board. So now even if we did shift, we could double challenge here, or we could even do something like play a Junior Woodchuck guidebook, pop that, and just take out the shifted Webby 1 for 1 here. We'll see what Habibi has. If the shift line is available, does he take it, or do we go with something else? This is pretty terrifying if you're an aggressive player staring this down. Blurple does have the tools early in the game to stifle aggression with these guards as well as the Basils. They're really, really troublesome to see when you're trying to go under this deck. And I think one of the reasons it is one of the better decks in the current format.
And I think it'd be interesting to see if Haymaker goes for the wide board here, if the shift does happen for the Webby, because that's just one more turn later that the Under the Sea can come down. So you could go decently wide with your Blue Pearl deck and start questing if the dogs are not going to turn sideways at all.
Yeah, absolutely.
And get a pretty big lead.
Habibi taking his time on this turn. I think this is incredibly important here. The ink and play in these early turns for the dogs deck matter really significantly because you don't need that much ink. You don't really ink a lot. So everything that you do ink is pivotal. Really thinking through all the options here as Haymaker is going into that turn number 4. We were able to see Habibi respond to that powerful Iago play with a song in the last game, but it's just a go-go into the Inkwell for a tempo go-go on the board. If there is something like a Genie, that's going to be able to remove that really easily, or even an Iago, like we just mentioned, there is the Genie wish fulfilled, going to draw us a card and start questing for 2. Things are looking really bad for Habibi right now.
Yeah, I feel like Habibi definitely missed what he was going for here. Started with the Webby, then that second Royal Guard came down, and then had to rethink the entire Webby strategy. And now we're kind of stuck in this. Can't exert our characters. You do see a lady come down to play another lady.
Yeah, that's not bad. Getting a little bit of a 2 for 1 there, saving a little bit on the ink. But we are getting into our Elsa the Fifth Spirit turn. We'll see if Haymaker is able to get to that card and start thinning out Habibi's board. That's not when you want to see if you are the dogs player, but if they do miss it, there is a glimmer of hope here, but he doesn't. There is the Elsa
He's
the
got
Fifth
it.
Spirit. One of the best cards in Disney Lorcana, introduced in that Shimmering Skies set. We are going to take out the 2 Quester there. Lady gets banished into the discard pile, and we're going to get a quest for 2 as well with the Genie, and Haymaker looking like he's in complete control of this game. If Demona comes down next turn, it might just be over on the spot.
Not only taking out the 2 Quester, but also taking out the 3-cost Singer there.
Yeah, very true.
On Habibi's side.
We're going to shift. Okay. And sing Under the Sea.
Oh, there it
That
is.
is the way to come back into this game. We didn't see it. The shift lady line into Under the Sea removes every single character on Haymaker's side of the board. And now Habibi has complete and total control of this game. What a play. He kept everything close to the vest. Cool, calm, collected. And that is the power of the Floodborns in this game and the power of songs displayed beautifully in one single turn.
That was amazing. I think Haymaker had the right thought by taking out the 2 quest lady there, but leaving that other lady on board allowed the shift to happen.
That was incredible. And now Haymaker on the back foot here needs to try to think of a way to recover. There's Demona. We're going to let Habibi draw a card here, but we do need some more options. If not for that Under the Sea, that Demona absolutely would have sealed this game for Haymaker. But now we are in it completely. Habibi with 4 cards in hand, plenty of ink for a dog's deck to work with. What will we see?
I'm not sure I love that Demona there. Usually you want to play Demona after you have other characters on the board to challenge into the dogs, but if you need cards, you need cards. So a very smart person once told me, he goes by Mr. Burns now, draw more cards, win more games. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we get the Mowgli into the Inkwell. We are going to get into the Tramp. We have 1 card here, so we're going to draw 4, discard 4. And I mean, we can't talk about it enough how great this Tramp is. A 2/6 quest for 2 comes out for almost no ink. It's just an amazing card, and really the reason why this deck is so good, as we're not afraid of this Demona. We got to get some lore onto the board. We're going to get a quest in 4/4, as Demona can really only challenge one thing a turn.
and if Demona doesn't take anything out here, we are questing for 8 the next turn up to 12. So we're on a clock now. Interesting that the Ursula went to the discard there. You could have kept the Ursula, played it out, and gotten rid of something like an Into the Unknown so that you could quest a little bit more freely and take a peek at their hand so you can prepare for it.
Are we thinking about
But I'm sure you
Hades
got
here?
something
We
good.
are. Hades is going to remove that Tramp, of course, the biggest character on the opposite side of the board. There it is, as you called
There
it,
it
with a
is.
double ink for Habibi there. You don't need the ink, but we just got 3 more courtesy of Hades and Into the Unknown. And now things seemingly have swung back into Haymaker's favor.
We're going to quest, do a Daisy trigger, Hades to hand. Questing again.
All right, let's
There
take
we
a look
go.
at
We
the
see the
hand.
Ursula.
Ooh.
Yeah. He did pull it. All right.
Yeah, that's not bad, especially for Into the Unknown being played last turn. But luckily, Gogo can quest with impunity here now that the Into the Unknown is into the discard pile. Just a Hades looking for a deal on the opposite side of the board, which probably is not exactly what you want to see as another Kogo comes down. No activation, but another evasive character that can quest sort of freely into the opposite side. If a Hades does come down here, I feel like you just have to let your opponent draw the cards. You need every character you have, right?
Yeah, I think you let them draw the cards. They're going to use most of their ink here playing that Hades, so there's not much else they're going to be able to do. But be thinking about it because the Sapphire Hades and the Demona are going to be able to challenge in and take things out. We do see the Daisy go to the bottom, though.
Does opt to get rid of the Daisy. Interesting. I mean, you have the Go-Go's here. You're trying to race as much as possible. Basically, everything you play is going to be questing and challenged into. So as long as the Go-Go's can remain unchallengeable and you don't give your opponent the cards that they need to find the answer, it does make sense to sort of get rid of your Daisy there. So Habibi
And that
thinking
Daisy was
about
probably
that.
gone anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Surprising that we did go for Daisy, though. You would think maybe the Go-Go's need to be removed, as I can, challenge into Daisy with Demona, right?
right.
Now Haymaker's are thinking about forget challenging. We get rid of the Daisy, which quests for the most amount on the board, and now I race you because I have 2 2-questers out and 2 1-questers. So both players really thinking a lot about that Hades looking for a deal move there, which is really, really interesting.
So Haymaker does take out the Webby here just to prevent that shift line. If he did quest, though, he would have gone to 6, and then the following turn could have gone to 12, same as Habibi would have gone to on his following turn. So they would have been neck and neck, and racing was definitely an option.
We'll see what Habibi is able to find here. Do go for the quest.
Sadly, Habibi has no Lilos in the discard.
Mm. Shout out to Luke Wonderland giving us some amazing insight on the backside, saying if he did draw a shift lady here, we can challenge with both of these Go-Go's if we'd like, get them both back, and now we'd have activations for the following turns, which could just get you over the hump, especially if you're able to put 4 damage onto either this Demona or this Hades. But that is setting up a play for the future. You would not be able to gain any of their lore this turn, as it would cost 5 to play down the lady, and it costs 4 to play the Go-Go with her activated ability. And that might be a way to get yourself back into this. Thinking about it, do we do it? Do we not?
We are just questing.
Oh, no. Finds
Another Go-Go.
Another Go-Go. So we are going to Go-Go for 1 here and go up to 12. So we did not have that option available to us, but that is something really, really interesting that Haymaker maybe needs to consider in future turns. But at this point, you really can't stop turning your character sideways on an absolute Hail Mary from Habibi's side of the board.
We do see a genie come down, so those Go-Go's can begin getting challenged. 1 genie is not going to be enough to take out all 3 Go-Go's in one swoop, or in general, unless we get a cat. So there's still going to be 1 Go-Go on the loose here.
Right now, Haymaker with 1 card in hand, each player taking a look at the other's discard, I believe. But yeah, you mentioned no Lilos in the discard for Habibi. They would be absolutely amazing right now, as it doesn't look like we're going to be playing the card in hand, at least not right now for Haymaker, putting the hand marker on it.
We're deciding if we are questing or challenging with the Royal Guard as well as the Hades here onto that Ursula. The Royal Guard does have enough to take out the Ursula. We drew from turn and we drew from the genie.
Yep. If you don't take anything out here, Habibi would go to 16, which would be a 2-turn clock. Of course, the odds of finding another Go-Go, pretty low. But let's just remove that Ursula while we can.
Now we're just counting up the lore on Haymaker's side here. He has 8 lore on board, so that would take him to 17 on the next turn. Habibi only going to 15. Habibi definitely needs something here.
Yep. Habibi needs to find another Go-Go, I think. Or just needs to find a couple of characters to get him back into this. If he was able to find the Floodborn lady, get that onto the board, get 2 characters back into his hand, and utilize all the ink that he has been given by Haymaker, that would be another way to seal this match, as it is really, really tough to clear an entire board as a Blurple player. But there could be another Demona in hand for Haymaker, which could be a way to do that. But Habibi has cards in his deck that can get him out of the situation, but you got to think maybe if he had it, it would have been slammed already. We do see the card in his hand upside down there next to the go-go.
It makes you wonder if he has something like a Bobby in hand, which draw and discard, and he doesn't want to play it because next turn he'll be able to do the effect.
No. For sure. A little bit of a way to cycle through this deck, not as efficiently as Tramp could, but definitely a way to do that. Of course, you could think about playing it this turn and rolling the dice on hitting a Lilo, but the Lilo definitely going to get challenged into and not ever quest. What you need right now are unexerted characters that quest for 2.
Yeah, I think the big story of this game so far is Habibi not being able to use all the ink he was given by getting his hand refilled or anything like that with the shift lady.
Yeah, absolutely. If he was able to get that play down, as Wonderland had mentioned, that would have been absolutely massive. Could be playing these go-go's right now, gaining yourself 4 lore and taking that all the way to the bank. But we are in a much, much more difficult position right now. At least Habibi was able to find these go-go's that have been able to pretty much quest unbothered for the majority of this game. Now they are staring down a Genie Wish Fulfilled on the opposite side of the board right now, so one of them will get challenged into and removed.
The maker could also just race at this point and not challenge with the Genie there.
Yeah.
Knowing that he's got 8 on board and going to 17 is pretty rough for Habibi here.
Yeah, absolutely could do that. Just need to make sure you don't play into any potential out that Habibi could have in his deck, but challenging in puts damage on your characters, questing puts lore on the board. Let's see what Habibi decides to do as we see the time to go action popping up onto the screen. Shout out to production. And a TikTok.
Now?
I see.
Yes.
There she is.
There she is. Okay.
So that must have been the play that we were considering. Do we challenge in with these go-go's or do we take the lore? We opt to go with the lady. We have a Webby in hand to give our lady an additional strength next turn. And if we draw a character that we can play, that would be one more to quest it out. So right now, the Genie can challenge into one of these go-go's. 2 go-go's remaining is 2 lore to 17. Plus, we've got 3 unexerted on the top end of the board there to get us to 20. We're searching for answers. Here comes the Junior Woodchuck Guidebook. 1 card, 2 card. Do we find something to stop this aggression on the side of Habibi? We talked about it. He found one of the outs. Here comes Genie with a challenge. We have 4 ink. We can ink this turn, and Elsa here would be huge.
Did he find the Elsa? He pulled 3 cards there.
Didn't.
Oh, he didn't.
He did.
Man, 2
not
Dumbos
find
and a
the
Genie.
Elsa, and that is going to be game number 1 going to Habibi. What an amazing match. We are going to go into the booth and talk to these 2 great players about one of the more high-level matches you're going to see, which is what we love to bring you every single week here on the ICL.
I'm trying to think if I could have won that game if I threw it. You played it well, but I'm trying to think if I could have won it.
Well, but I had a really, really awkward hand to start, so I was like trying to see a line that doesn't result me in just losing.
Hello, gentlemen. Thank you so much for the match. That was super intense. We saw that the lady came down there in game number 3. Wonderland had mentioned at one point that could be a play, challenging in with the go-go's and then getting them back. Is that what you were considering on that last turn, Habibi?
Yeah, I was doing the math on him having a Cheshire cat, and if he does have a Cheshire cat, or sorry, not a Cheshire cat, like a bell or something that can move damage to his own character. I don't know, some way to kill his own character, whether it's into the unknown. I can end up losing by swinging everything in hopes of playing a go-go to do the damage. So I was mathing out if there was another possibility. I saw that last turn he didn't just play removal. He probably would have if he'd had it. So I kind of had a feeling he didn't have one of those pieces. It was just I was just figuring out all my options based off what he played and trying to remember everything. It's a late night. Not trying to
Yeah.
slow roll it, but I think out of the possibilities, if I presented the lady plus the one drop lady there, I could, if I drew a character off the top, I represent 5 with just those characters alone, which felt like a stronger play than the go-go's.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that was a really, really difficult turn to think out and making sure that you get all the math correct. I mean, this is the playoffs of the ICL. You want to make sure you get your team off to a good start. But what really swung things in your favor was that incredible under the sea that we saw, and things were looking really dire before that happened. Was that something that you were setting up from the beginning of the game, trying to make sure that you could get that off and sort of steal the tempo back from the Sapphire player who was able to ramp early?
Yeah, on the draw, that's generally my plan into Blurple. I like to go for it under the sea. I had the Dellas, and it was a really awkward position. So I had to set up a board that he would likely play an Elsa into, or if it's the only card he has, he would play an Elsa into to try to incentivize it. I was holding that one drop lady the whole time in hopes of setting up a lady plus a lady, because my hand was 5 drop lady, the under the sea from the very beginning. So I'm trying to math out with the go-go's what made more sense to try to do the 3 drop plus the 2 drop go-go. But I ended up working out because the math still works out. If I play a really garbage 1 drop like the Webby into a go-go, ink the go-go, lady 1 drop, no matter what he kills that turn, I get to sing under the sea, and that's kind of what won this game. But because it was such a weak start and the 1 drop surrounding that play were pretty dead, he had a lot of time to catch up, find good cards. So he played well for given the situation, but that was a difficult hand. Like that was a very brick hand to start for a Dogs player, and I mean, I was kind of tanking a little bit with some of these decisions, but I need to like make sure I mapped it out because, like you said, it's very high stakes. We're on the draw. I need to steal a game for on the play for us.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it was one of the most exciting plays that I have seen here on the ICL. So huge props to you for navigating that sort of weird hand and getting to one of the higher level, most explosive plays that we've seen. But I also have Dakota here in the booth who may have some questions for the victor here, ETB Habibi.
Habibi, we talked a little bit about the Emerald Chromicon on stream, and we saw that you discarded it with, I believe it was a Bobby in game 1. Is the Chromicon something that you value in the Flurple matchup, or is it there for other matchups? When do you prefer to use it?
I 100% want it in general. Like, fun fact, I was running 1 copy. So when I was sending that away, I was sending it away with the knowledge I would never be able to play it in the matchup again. My hand was pretty bricked, and I had the under the sea. I also had a way to dig and find a Delas. So my game plan was if he doesn't exactly have Demona on that 6 ink play, I would essentially full clear him, similar to what I did in game 3. Unfortunately, had the Demona, so I just looked like an idiot. So that wasn't so great. But in the event that he doesn't have the Demona there, I was going to try to steal the game and take back the tempo. I think that's a more preferred play from my position. I don't know if he was like trying to get in my head or like play into it, but they know what I'm playing. I'm sure they're smart enough to tech Wasabis into their deck. So the Wasabi coming down, taking out a Chromocon would have been backbreaking. Just in case they did end up teching Wasabis for me, I didn't want to hedge my entire game plan on something that might be in his hand when he had so many cards. Rather, than I want to put it on exactly Demona. Might be a wrong play, right play. I'll have to look back and figure out if I could have won with just mathing it out with Chromocon, but that was the thought process behind getting rid of the Chromocon.
Seems like a
And
great
it's usually
segue to Matt. Did you tech a Wasabi in, or?
I figured he knew that I would be smart enough to tech a Wasabi in, so I did not tech a Wasabi in.
Oh, damn. Well, I knew that you knew that I knew.
Really, I just took Rob's deck from his top 4 list and dropped out 1 Demona because I only have 3 copies in paper right now, and put in an extra Hades, 5-cost Hades, because I was on the play and figured that's a good card on the play to kind of play a more aggressive hand to the board.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Going into this matchup, seeing that it was Habibi, I'm sure you were expecting to see the dogs. How do you feel as the Blurple players seeing this matchup? We see some of the chat saying that it is a pretty good matchup overall, and if you weren't hit by that absolutely explosive Under the Sea, you're probably taking this home for the team. But how do you feel about the matchup? Is this what you were expecting to see on your opponent's side of the board?
It's definitely what I was expecting to see once I saw I was playing Habibi, but so I figured I'd probably either be facing that or blue-green to start, based on their players and what they might try to throw out to counter. Excuse me. And yeah, so I think it's a winnable matchup on the play for Blurple for sure. The Under the Sea is one big play, but as Habibi said earlier, like I was able to recover from it. And then get to a position where I made a choice, and I'll be interested to go back and look on it. The Hades on the Daisy instead of on the Go-Go, because I could have just traded with the Daisy, and so that's probably what cost me the game, as it turned out. I just figured I'd be able to beat a pair of Go-Go's as long as he didn't get like a 2-quester and a lady, which is essentially what he got, because he got the Go-Go who was able to quest twice over his last 2 turns.
Yeah,
So at the
absolutely.
end of the game there, when he dropped the 2 ladies, what card were you searching for when you popped the guidebook and then the genie? Is there any card that you knew that would get you out of it, or were you just searching to see what any answer that you could
The
find?
other card in my hand was Genie, and that I knew wouldn't get me out of it. It would draw fewer cards for more ink, so I was popping the guidebook to see if there was something there. I think an Elsa and an Inkable maybe gets me there, because I could, I think, go up to 5 ink if I drew an Inkable and then something to use. Hades probably doesn't get me there. Habibi, I think, makes the correct choice. Cat gets it. So there was things to draw off the guidebook, I think, that could have got me there, perhaps. But I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at it. Maybe not, actually. I could pop the 2 Go-Go's only, right? And then you have the lady and the lady that quest for the last 5, as long as you draw a character, right? So, yeah. I don't think there's much in there except Elsa, probably, because I think Elsa lets me take out the big lady or the little lady who's enough to quest. Yeah, so Elsa would let me take out the little lady, and then I could just quest out.
Spooky sight off the top.
Spooky side.
Yeah, but that was all the questions I had for the players.
Bell would be an out too. Sorry.
Oh,
So
is
you
Bell
did
in
have the bell.
in the list?
You did have
this,
it.
this
Oh,
build
interesting.
This build plays 2 of the bells, so Bell would have been an out as well, I think. Oh no, I could only move 2 damage, I think, maximum. So maybe not. Sorry, interrupted you for nothing too.
No, you're good. Just wanted to give you 2 the opportunity to do your shout outs and then go support your teams as we continue into matches number 2 and number 3 here. Habibi, we'll start with you, and then Haymaker can finish it off for us.
Yeah, shout out to Enter the Battlefield, all the lovely locals here. They keep me honest and humble. Shout out to Twin Moon Studio, as well as Endgame for the amazing sleeves and playmats as always. And honestly, shout out to Slab Sharks. This is a very sad moment to have to play against the other team in the GTA, the second best team in the GTA. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to take them out. But they're usually good sports about it, so I'm excited.
Yeah, I'll shout out Slab Sharks as well. Thanks for being a great sponsor. Shout outs to JoJo and Ryan, who lent me cards for the weekend. Shout out to Amir, a local who crushed it this weekend. JDRR and Shane for the help with the Blurple. yeah, that's all I got.
Awesome. Thank you, gentlemen, for the amazing match. We will see what happens here in round number 2 as you both go to support your teammates. But Dakota and I are going to head back over to the booth and get you set up for that match number 2 between Team Slab Sharks, who needs to get a win here to prevent themselves from being eliminated from the playoffs. In the booth. I made it. We did it. Dakota, what an amazing match to get us started. That Under the Sea play, I think people will be talking about for generations as the rest of the crew is here. Mr. Burns, Wonderland, and JDZ Quest himself.
Hello.
What did you guys think of that Under the Sea?
That was insane. The whole match was insane. More insane, I lost all my money. Okay,
All your
I was
points.
picking wrong every single time Habibi threw. I lost a big bag there. I tried to double dip and recoup, lost again, and then I lost in the all important game number 3. I can't pick him tonight.
Did you get in on that last
I'm
one?
going to take the win on Habibi there. Dogs beating Blurple.
That's
You
a
guys
huge
said
win.
it wasn't going to happen. Here we are.
Also called it. Let's go. Me and
Oh,
Dakota
you
were
got it.
locked in. That's why we got picked to do match number 1, because we know what we're talking about.
I understand.
Yeah,
I lost
put-
$100. So
Oh, yeah, rip it. Let's see it.
it's
Oh.
it's in pieces. It's in pieces. I had my notes on here too. Daisy is a May, so he could have readied that Demona if he wanted to.
Oh, you're right.
Didn't
right.
have to take that card.
Did not have to look at it and
Yeah,
take it.
true.
Good call.
There it is. Good job. Good job. Good job.
So, with ETB taking the first one on the draw, they are now on the draw again with Dale from the Slab Sharks going to be on the play here. What do you think they're going to be on? Any guesses?
I've been following Dale throughout this Whispers in the Well meta, and he's been exclusively playing the Emerald and Amethyst strategy, green and purple mid-range deck. So I'll be very shocked and surprised if he's not loading that deck, where Joseph might be on that blue-green Detectives. I know that's a deck that he's been kind of favoriting this format, but at least that's my 2 thoughts. What do you think, Luke?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure every time he's played, he's been on that there. And if Joseph, all right, so he's a mad lad, you know. He obviously thinks Detectives is the best deck, but he has thrown curveballs before and just played decks that were good against decks that were good against his known deck, if that makes sense, expecting someone to counterpick him. And Habibi's been playing in the first round a lot. Joseph's been playing in the second round a lot with a few. I'm not going to say who's been playing in the third round a lot, but if you've been paying attention, you would know. So maybe they counterpicked him, and he's, you know, going to level 2, 3, 4. You know, how deep down the rabbit hole? I don't know. Mr. Burns, what are you thinking?
Well, Joseph Quigley is one of the most villainous, vile players in all Disney Lorcana, and
Yeah.
he would tell you. Everyone knows that he loves to bend people's will, right? And he's also a one-trick pony. So I think he is going to be selling those Metafy guides. I think he's going to be detecting, solving some cases, right? Whereas Dale, I mean, this man's from the heavens, right? Can't get a nicer guy. Clearly Canadian. Absolutely love him. And he will not play a non-Emerald deck to save his life. So he has to be on Emerald X at all times.
Now that I think about it, I can't think of a non-Emerald deck he's played. It's only Emerald Steel and that.
Yep.
Just like I always play Steel.
Absolutely. So obviously I'm also going with Dale on this one, and that's going to be another big Burns Bucks here.
What's your prediction, Garrick?
I'm sticking with the same prediction that I made at the beginning. We're going ETB sweep, ETB sweep. They're too prepared. They're too nice. They're too good at questing, dude. They know what they're doing. They're the defending champs for a reason. They're going to take it down, and they're going to show the Slab Sharks why they're the best team in Canada and why they represent the Great White North better than anyone else.
Man, oof. I'm a believer now. I'm a believer. You sold me with that hype. I mean, come on.
Oh, I don't know. It's gonna be a tough one to pick. I mean, both of these teams. I got my ETB gear on right
wearing
now.
the ETB
As
merch.
I'm wearing the ETB merch.
He's
but
a
I love
paid
it.
actor. He's a paid actor.
I mean, if you send me your merch, I will wear it. I'm very easily persuaded. Very cheap. You can buy me at bargain basement prices. My allegiance has no value of note. But I will say that Dale is one of my favorite players. As you guys know, he's one of the reasons that I'm playing Disney Lorcana at all. And I love to see him play. Joseph Quigley is quickly becoming one of my favorite players. I play a blue-green detective this weekend specifically because of him and his veracity as an Illumineer. So I really don't want to pick anyone. Hopefully, I'm gonna go with the Slab Sharks. I want them to win just so we can force this all-important game number 3, and that's it. And also, huge shout out to the Slab Sharks. Without them, I wouldn't have this nice, beautiful, uncut sheet that's sitting next to me and all the grind they put in getting all those tickets and having me be able to trade for those tickets. So huge shout out to the Slab Sharks. Huge shout out to ETB. I just want an incredible matchup, but I think Dale is going to take it here.
So they were bribing you at the DLC.
Hey, like I said, look, I'm very, very cheap. Okay,
Easy from both sides here.
Right. You can afford me. Okay, whatever your price is, you can afford it. Don't worry. My allegiance has no value.
That's good to know.
Mr. Burns, you took Dale? Yes.
I'm taking Dale. Absolutely.
All right, I'm going Quigley.
Let's get it. Too
It
quick.
worked out the
Dale.
first time to go against Mr. Burns. I'm going with it this time.
Well, like I said the first round, I have to root for the Slab Sharks because ETB doesn't want me rooting for them because of my caster's curse. But Slab Sharks wants me to root for them because they are not superstitious like ETB is. But we're going to jump over here, and I'm going to leave you again. Garrick, thank you very much, as well as Dakota for doing a great job in the first round. But we'll see you later.
See ya.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. And in round number 2, it is me and my boy, Mr. Burns. No longer DB, just Mr. B.
That's
Talk to
right.
me
New
about the
year, new
rebrand.
me.
I love it.
I appreciate it. A through JDZ. He can get you anything you need.
There it
We're
is.
going to need someone on that card viewer because out of order is still there.
Okay.
So,
Okay, I can load in, or maybe we can get production in the building as Mr. Dale Bolito coming in from the Great Right North. Represent. I think both of these Illuminaires are in that Toronto area. Dale with the patent pending.
Yeah.
No playmat. What do you thought? What do you think? What are your thoughts on that? No playmat.
oof. I mean, Spellground's not playing him paying him enough, I guess, because that's typically what he's on. And we're seeing a Prince Philip in the Inkwell with a Webby in play.
So we're
As,
going. We
as
are
Quigley's
revealing.
still shuffling.
Yeah, that's great. What do you think about that? Getting the play going before your opponent even gets the opportunity to cut and or shuffle your deck. I like that approach. Just hey, it's time to play. You're over here BS and let's get it moving. I like that.
No games. The best offense or the best defense is good offense. So
Yeah, get our shuffling cut in and have the card on the board before. I don't think out of all the ICL matches we've seen, I don't think I've ever seen this go down. Joseph Quigley with that champion mat, a little bit of a flex versus Dale's impoverished no mat situation there.
yeah, and Dale, sadly, no enchanted Prince Philip. I don't know if you remember when he was playing Emerald Steel, fully decked out, including top 16 play promos from the DLCs.
Complete max rarity type Illumineer, but he had to take a step back. I understand that this Illumineer now is married, so maybe you don't have the opportunity to put all of your funds into your Disney Lorcana deck, as Mr. Quigley is going to be putting 2 detectives into the field of play early. One in Inkwell, one on board. It's Basil. What do you think about this detective decks, Mr. Byrne? Do you think it's fake, or do you think it's fun, or do you think it's real?
Here's the thing. I was all about the no detective build until listening to Jeremy's Space. If you're not listening to Jeremy's Space, you're not getting all the details, right? So Jeremy's Space made me a believer, and I actually brought detectives with me just in case I wanted to audible at the last second. I decided, I'm already not going to win. I might as well not embarrass myself while I'm at it.
Okay. I did the opposite of that. I was going to play the regular version, but I opted to go for the detective version, and I got to wear a nice little costume with it, as Webby is now shifted. So this is looking high octane for Mr. Bolito, who has that Webby down on 2, warded to Quester, and you're able to cheat a little bit of ink into your Inkwell if Joseph Quigley sticks to the game plan and ramps on 2.
Yeah, I also did you notice the Lewis going into the Inkwell? That's one we're not seeing that often. But when you know exactly what your opponent's going to be playing, and that's not going to be a captain hook, I mean, you can just bring that right back.
Yeah. I like it. I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all, as we are going to continue to fulfill the prophecy and force ourselves into a ramping situation. You are going to give a little bit of value up by doing so, but you have to do it because it's so significantly important to your game plan. As Webby gets a nice free quest, adds another ink exerted. Let's see if Dale puts in one in from hand, and he will.
And when is he going to reveal a second ink color? Oh, that's a spicy. That's a nice clean 1-for-1 after you're up on resources as well.
And it will insulate your Webby for at least another turn as well. Getting that one willpower Basil off board by just hard playing the malicious, mean, and scary vocal style, just spoken word. And now Quigley now coming through with a 4-ink play. Probably that Judy Hopps looking for a detective, or maybe you go Donald Duck here.
Oh, nice little shark hand protector there. What if Dale is playing us and that actually is his playmat? Got himself a nice mahogany playmat printed at,
and he just carries it around. It's just like
at the shop.
a full on like a chopping board, as Judy Hopps is going to hip hop right on from the hand and add another detective as she does. I believe that is the focus Flatfoot, so that curves quite nicely. Check that, it's another Judy Hopps, so that's not the worst card I've seen, as Judy does get some value here.
Hitting anything is great because, well, you can ink it. It's the worst feeling. The thing that will put you off this deck the most is playing Judy Hopps, finding nothing.
I had a lot of that happen this weekend. I think I got cursed, and I was sending a lot of really good units to the bottom of my Lorcana deck as well, putting Prince Phillips and combo pieces down, getting no detective, and I just wanted to chunk the deck across the venue and and walk off the stage. But it is what it is, you know. It's the gamble you play. It is a risk. As it looks like now we are trying to just get a little hand count. Looks like Joseph holding on to 5, 4, one of which we know is going to be that Judy Hopps, as the Flynn is going to come through as a quick boost. Now he's at his full value, 3-2. All of his ink is in tow, staring down Judy Hopps, who can trade now.
And Dale probably considering, does he even want to ink, right? I mean, Quigley has to go to 5. You'll go ahead, and the Webby has ward. Unless it gets pumped with an improvise, it's going to survive the next turn. I'm not sure. I mean, you would know more than me. Does improvise find room in this deck with all the extra detectives?
Joseph Quigley notably has had improvise in and out of the strategy from his own. I did see his Medify, and I was able to see like some of the tech choices that he has, but I don't believe that is a card that is featured, especially in the DLC. If you got to have room for everything, you're going to probably have your Under the Siege. You're going to have maybe a couple of Hades here or there. Maybe you need more Basils. I just don't think you have enough room to include improvise in the deck, so I wouldn't think it would be there, but it's definitely very possible, especially knowing the tendencies of Joseph Quigley, aka Pandemonium Heart, now who's going into that radical 5-ink turn. Donald Duck kind of feels bad, as Webby is going to continue to get tremendous value going into that following turn.
Yeah, it's also, you know, it's, you don't realize it. Dale is going to be at 10 lore next turn if he quests with both characters. That Webby really putting in work.
Yeah, just being ward, coming in early on turn number 2. I think this card is actually insane, and I might even mention, or I do feel, as crazy as it may sound, this card is underplayed in our metagame. I believe as the new sets continue to come out, we get into the winter spell in a few weeks. I think this is another card that people are going to continue to look at as another option to accelerate your inkwell in different colors other than Sapphire. I think the card is great. It's a very solid design, a nice go second card. I'll be interested to see if this card gets more play in the future.
And it's one of those cards that it's still good later in the game. I mean, if you're at 18 and you drop this,
what are you gonna do?
They're gonna need Demona, or they're gonna have to pack it up.
Yeah, or go full Prince Philip combo or whatever, and that's just a lot to ask for in these late game, late stage, low resource type battles that we can find ourselves. As Mr. Quigley now staring down, probably thinking about putting some hits into this Webby while you can. But is that the best thing to do, and you elect not to? Probably the correct decision, with Cheshire Cat floating around the universe, or maybe a Bell or something like that, electing not to put any damage onto this Webby right now and just pass it back on over to Del Bolito, who, like you said, he's almost done. He's climbing up. Just continue to add more threats to the board. I think that's the plan with this. What do you think about this deck that Del is playing? It's more of a mid-range, I would almost say tempo type Emerald and Amethyst strategy.
These are the exact decks that I like to play. I like to
Mm.
mix it up in the middle. Not a lot of uninteractive cards, right? There's not much you can do. I mean, he does have the combo in there, but he's not ramping to it, so that's happening on turn 6. So I would say this is a gentleman's deck. If almost like Ruby Amethyst is now.
Okay.
Whereas it used to be broken, and now it's the gentlemanly way of playing.
Yeah, the fair way, the pick up your sword, you knock your sword out of my hand, I give you the sword before I,
Yeah,
take you out kind of thing. I like it. I like it. Everybody else is just trying to go super invalidation. This one is playing a pretty fair, in your face kind of game. Webby is kind of a quasi broken card, especially when you shift it early. But at the same time, like you said, I think the deck is quite fair. But still, in the hands of a talented pilot, I think you can get a lot of range out of a strategy like this. As the stare down commences, I don't know what the players are discussing, but it looks like, I believe, the play goes to Pandemonium as the stare down is on.
I also really like this Flynn Rider. I feel like it's not seeing enough play. I actually saw it played in Infinity.
Really?
Curves really well into Madam Mim Fox.
I
Basically
didn't even
draws
think
you a
about that.
card. Yeah, played on 1, boost on 2, Fox on 3.
That is really cool. And maybe you can take down if they get so bold and exert a character, you probably can get a challenge in there if you can get a favorable exchange, something with 1 or less strength to clear with that 3 boost. If they play into it, that is a really cool little plug there. I didn't even think about that. The ramification of Infinity and these new Whisper cards. Interesting. I haven't really put a lot of study
Yeah.
into the Infinity format just yet. I'm certain that there's some really broken things that people can do if we really just break it down and start to explore it. Have you explored a little bit of Infinity in your own testing, or have you been
I
kind of
have
staying away
not.
from it?
I have not, but I'm super excited to. I'm
Mhm.
glad that we have a DLC coming up where I have a reason to do it. I know it's a bit divisive topic right now,
Yeah.
but it freshens things up, And there are a lot of people out there who still prefer to play with every card in the game.
Yeah, and that's a great point to do it. DLC Indianapolis coming up in June, so get your Infinity ready. We got 2 sets, I believe, in between that time, so you have time to maybe explore some new things, try some new decks out, seeing what's up as the stare down still commences. I'm not even certain whose turn it is. I think it's on Dale now, who's
It
got a
is
quest in.
Dale. Yeah. I've had the pleasure of playing Dale, and this is generally the pace. And yeah, thinking, does he want to save his Webby here, or does he want to pseudo draw a card with Flynn Rider? Again, boosting Flynn Rider, bouncing it to hand. We're just talking about that.
That doesn't seem that bad, and it looks like we are going to go ahead and protect our Webby, adding 2 more cards to our hand. So it is a little bit of value there. You can turn around and just ink the smaller Webby and then just redeploy the bigger Webby in a follow-on turn, or maybe even set yourself up for another potential shift. But check that. We'll go for the unknown and see what is beneath the Flynn Rider and maybe take your play. I like that approach a lot.
Yeah, both were definitely valid, able to ink the Flynn Rider this turn. Because the little Webby also, maybe you need it. The little Webby plus the elephant takes out the flat-footed Donald.
Yeah, for sure. And it's going to take both of these characters are going to have to challenge into the Webby Vanderquack to clear it. And now you open yourself up for a potential another malicious, mean, and scary could take out the Judy Hopps if you want it, or you just challenge and banish both of these characters now as Quigley gets rid of the You're Welcome before deploying a Hades the Infernal Schemer. So he did make it into the deck and breaks up that line of play, sending another character down to the inkwell.
Yeah, and how many ink are we on for Dale now? The white sleeves tripping me up a little bit. We might be close to just playing a Prince Philip soon.
Yeah, so we are getting dangerously close to just manually deploying the Prince Philip. But in the meantime, in between time, another really powerful card, Cheshire Cat, is deployed to the field of play. You can heal your opposition's characters to clear 1 if you felt so inclined, and I believe you will do so. Maybe just moving 1 damage from the Focus Flatfoot over to the Judy. Never mind, you won't.
He's
do
telegraphing.
anything.
Yeah, definitely telegraphing here. I've got the big Prince Philip in hand. I always boost, even when there's no reason in play, because of the Madam Mim Elephants or because of the Hades on the opposing side of the board.
I like that mechanic, man. I'm glad that it's something that seems like it's going to be a mainstay in our game from going forward. I believe we've already saw a few of the reveals coming forward from the next set. They have a lot of boost mechanics being utilized there. So hopefully that's something that continues. I enjoy this new mechanic. and it's been pretty successful. Cheshire Cat, I think, might be a little too powerful, in my opinion. I think that card might be a little too overpowered. It's not quite balanced as I would like, but still a great mechanic, and I'm glad that it's part of our game.
Yeah, I love boost. I love anything that lets you use your ink that you would normally, not go use.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it is just putting a card under the Cheshire Cat for later uses. I think boost is a super clean mechanic, and I hope that it's an evergreen.
Yeah, just something that we always continue to have. I would like to have those come back. I see that locations are kind of starting to return a little bit more. I want to see more dual links, and I want to see more
Oh yeah.
illusion support. I like to see all of our little archetypes that we have continue to get support throughout the remainder of the game, because I just think it just adds more versatility and more options for people to think about. As Joseph Quigley is thinking here, looking like we're grabbing a ton of ink, big ink maneuver coming through. It's going to be the Basil. This is going to be the practice detective, I believe is his name. And he's going to come on through and be representing a discard coming in. I was crushing with this card this weekend. This card saved me a lot and won me a ton of games, as the Under the Sea is going to be the card that is discarded from Del Polito.
Yeah, previous format. I mean, I think we were almost geared towards, we're playing against Emerald. We're going to keep some extra cards in hand, right? We had sudden chills. We had so many cards that punished us if we went down to one card in hand. And now I feel like you can really catch people off guard where they're just not expecting this. On top of the fact that it shifts and has a great shift target.
Oh yeah, the smaller one cost Basil. You can come in and shift this thing on 4 next turn. You can start forcing your opponents to some awkward situations by discarding their cards. Then you can play the focus flat foot, ramp yourself, and then get another discard in there, and then you can kind of be on your way. Also, it has pretty nice stats, sitting at a 4/5 stat line while questing for 2. Not a bad card at all. As Dell now, who's going to be on the back foot looking for that giant Prince Philip. We saw him put one down to the inkwell very early on in the game. Maybe you have another copy. I still think you might be a few ink away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Never mind, you ink and you can deploy, but is it the best use of your resources? Maybe boosting some of that damage off and over the next couple of turns and putting one on the Hades, one on the Focus Detective might be the way to go.
Interesting that we did not have the Philip a few turns ago, right? Because otherwise we wouldn't be taking out the final damage on this Judy Hops. We are able to move the damage from the Elsa onto the Flatfoot now. But that Basil still a massive problem.
For sure. It is going to require Joseph to continue to ink from the hand, but it is going to cause Dale to lose another additional hand resource, and that is problematic. So maybe just based on the way that we put that play together, it might be an indicator that it just doesn't exist, and the Prince Philip is something that you're still looking for. I'm not certain what the rest of those hand cards are, but I would have hoped that was a way to get through that Basil this turn to kind of protect yourself, but apparently there just was not. Because I think you could have Elsa and then Exert hit, and then now you would have had to send more characters in, and that's probably not worth it.
Yeah, although your Ursula is not doing much.
Right? Yeah.
So we could have dealt with the Basil if need be. Maybe he has cards in his hand that he's fine getting rid of.
We did see that Under the Sea last get sent to the discard pile, so maybe there's another copy of a card like Under the Sea or something high cost you can't really use anyway, so potentially just doesn't care. But
yeah, hit some other Nose Best, which another card great with this boost mechanic. Another reason to just boost every single turn.
And this Mother Knows Best, send that Cheshire Cat, gain a few more cards in hand. But that is going to be discarded now. But the Quigley did deploy the Donald Duck Perfect Date. So he's now on the board. And now you're going to be giving Dale a few more cards each turn. But I don't think you mind too terribly much because you'll get a chance to use them before Dale will. And Dale makes a nice, huge commitment. We're going to slam the Prince Philip. We're going to slam the Emerald Chromacon. And the stare down commences. You're going no cards in hand. And you are all in, pot committed. And let's see how the Quigley is going to break this one down. You do have that one cost Clarabelle off the top. Could break this Chromacon, and you're going to be right back in the driver's seat.
Yeah, a turn after Quigley just inked a one cost Clarabelle. And the Donald Duck pairing perfectly with Basil because, of course, Dale does draw the card, but then as long as you have an inkable that you're willing to get rid of, you can get rid of that card immediately.
That is a very, very good point. But Dale is still winning the lore race, sitting at 12 comfortably, taking the card from the Donald, electing not to, just forcing Quigley to have that inkable card and forcing her to play it, and also throw some of your tempo off as well by throwing your ink away and your card from hand. But it still is worth it. You can't let Dale get any additional resources here in this spot, because that could be that big Philip that can just turn this game on its head. I think doing some quick mathematics is that how much lore would that be if we get a shift Prince Philip quest? That's 3, 4, 5, 6. So you still would only be at 18. And
Right. But then, I mean, once you start challenging things, you're bouncing that Prince Philip back to hand, which has ward.
Mhm.
So you'll have to have the combo to deal with that.
Yeah, and that's I think that is a very, very fair point. And also, but what about Gogo? Is that something that you're afraid of here? As it looks like the Quickster is not, as we'll bring out the 7 cost Basil, who's going to be able to send the Elsa back to hand.
Yeah, it's either going to be Elsa or Ursula that turn, because that Cheshire Cat, again, goes with 2 other cards.
Yep.
Of course, we could have maybe quested with Hades and then bounce Hades to hand so that we could redeploy it the following turn, because that does get around the Chromacon.
Very good point. That is a very, very good point. So you can bounce your own characters with that 7 cost Basil. I would have liked to seen that. I think Hades is being redeployed, but that is going to continue to fuel Dale's ink situation, and maybe making a potential bounce on this Cheshire Cat a little bit more volatile. We see him sitting there like a ticking time bomb, just waiting to refuel Dale's hand. But so far, Dale is out front, but this board is getting super massive for Joseph Quigley, who had a nice hearty quest in there. That's 7 lore being added to the total, and he's on his way now.
Yeah, and now Quigley not needing to actually ink a card to get rid of a card from Dale's hand because of this Basil. When it quests, discard a card at random. Just another great reason why Donald Duck is so phenomenal in this deck. It's one of those cards that was in and out of different metagames, and now it's just a mainstay.
Yeah, that card is. I was down on that Donald Duck for the longest time because I was like, I don't want to play this versus dogs. I don't want to play this against Purple Steel. But I was so very wrong, because I think you drawing those cards as a blue green player, you can use them so much better than most of the other decks, and you get a chance to get it first. And then there's so much discard opportunities there, and your opponent getting card works so nice with Clarabelle. So I think it's a phenomenal card, great design card. As I'm glad it got reprinted, as Elsa now is on the approach, looking for another exert, taking down the Judy Hopps, it appears.
Then we're going to move some more damage with that Cheshire Cat. This Donald Duck, also excellent singer.
Yeah.
Sings everything that's important in this deck.
You're welcome. Mother Knows Best, 2 of his favorite ballads that he loves to sing. As we'll go ahead and use that Ursula for a little combat, taking down the Basil. Donald Duck singing You're Welcome seems like something I would love to hear. It's a great vibe.
I wish I could do an impression.
You know who can do a great Donald Duck? Garrick. Garrick's Donald Duck is like OP.
Oh, yeah. I've heard that on something that is actually not a podcast.
Yeah, this is
no
I don't
matter
know
what
it is.
anyone believes.
I don't know what you want to call it, but it is definitely not a podcast. As the stare down flips over to Dale's position, who is continuing to aggressively quest as well. You're at 14. You're trying to probably set up some go-go off the top plays. So Joseph Quigley has to be expressly careful not to run into a potential situation where you're getting go-goed for everything you got, while Dale is continuing to quest. 14 lore is where we're at. As the Cheshire Cat will also get a quest in, going up to 15 now. 4 away is Dale. So how would you break this spot down? I think you got to clear that Cheshire Cat first, right?
Right. You have to deal with Cheshire Cat first. That way we're going to go ahead and probably bounce the Phillip. And then we do have 2 different Basils that can deal with the cards in hand. So, I mean, not having the 1-drop Clarabelle, still having great Chromacon answers.
Yeah, this is still looking like a great fight. I enjoy these positions a lot, seeing how these top players negotiate these tremendous obstacles that they're ensnaring each other with. So we have the Chromacon game versus the discard game, and let's see how Joseph can now usurp Dale Bolito, who has launched out to a 15 Lord lead. Joseph now also trying to continue to quest in the process as well. So maybe you got to get some number of questing in before you start issuing your challenges. Oh, and by the way, you got to get your ink right so you can get the quality rips in for these detectives as well. So this is a lot to consider as both of these players are in this tight spot.
Yeah, it's rough. I've played a lot of card games where you can just let your opponent get to, 5% away from victory and then you take over the game. But as we saw in Richmond, any character can win. Any
Yeah.
character can take that trophy down.
Don't remind me. Oh my goodness. Seeing the growing sun Tipo is a DLC MVP is breaking my heart, Mr. Burns, because I can't stand
Yep.
Tipo. I hate the card. I hate the guy.
I didn't say the name just for you.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. Put a trigger warning on it, as it looks like we are going to go ahead and get that quality discard in first before going on through as the detective. Now you take out the Cheshire Cat here, who gets
gotta do it.
How much boost there was done?
3 cards under it.
Oh man, that's a lot of. See, usually I like to get a little sneak peek of what was boosted and be like, oh, I could have used that. Feel kind of bad about it, as it looks like the Donald Duck perfect date is getting bounced back to the hand. Probably the correct choice from Del Bolito.
We can't bounce our own characters because of that Basil that discards. Although now, what are you gonna do? If you bounce the Basil with 3 damage, you just reset it. If you bounce the 7-cost Basil, you're getting your card returned to your hand. If you bounce the Hades, good game. Yeah. It's a tough situation to be in for sure.
And I think you had to bounce that Basil, but this Hades there sitting with that 3 damage, I think is kind of pseudo problematic because never mind. Forget I said anything, as the manually deployed Under the Sea will send to these 2 characters to the bottom of the deck. I was just gonna say, if those characters can manage to survive and then you can get a quality quest in, and then the go off the top could spell demise for Mr. Pandemonium Heart. But that Under the Sea was perfect, as the Flynn is out and boosted, and a quick pass as Dale is top decking. But man,
yeah, this is a rough one. Really needed that go. I don't know if he's on it, but I believe you're welcome. You're on Chromacon, so that could have been a decent draw. Yeah, that was absolutely brutal, that Under the Sea, because the Elsa being evasive could have gone far.
Yeah, just gone to distance. You just needed 2 lore to set yourself up for an out to win the game. Play to your outs, as all the cool kids say. When you had one, and it quickly transpired to nothing now, but you still have this Flynn who's representing that same out yet again. If he can get that 2 lore in, is what you're looking for. You're trying to keep that 3 damage on this Hades the Infernal Schemer. Never mind, as your out just dwindled once more.
Now you discard a random card. So you do get to keep 1.
Mm-hmm. And one known entity is that Flynn Rider and the boosted card from beneath him. What is it going to be? It looks like it is that Flynn Rider. So we still have an unknown. We have enough ink for a double go-go. So imagine boosted go-go and then draw go-go. And that's 8 ink, and the game is over. That'll be a crazy moment for the ICL. It is an out. It does exist, but Mr. Bolito does not have it. And the Quixter is going to take it down.
Now I'm going to have to rip up another $100 bill, a genuine American $100 bill. That's like $500 Canadian. I mean, these guys could really use it.
Come on, man. You can't be ripping up this money in these trying times. But I think that's tough. I do have a Mr. Burns signed $50 bill around here somewhere. Ooh. I wasn't good enough for 100, but I have that 50. I'm gonna frame it and probably take it to my bank and try to maybe get get it sent over to Beckett or something, or
right. Yeah. PSA does currency, right?
Yeah. That's what I think is what I ended up doing. But talk to me about this matchup there, Mr. Burns. What happened? What does Dale need to do? Dale is somebody that we both picked to win this, but it looks like he just could not get it done. You found your line, you found your shift Webby, and you were able to add to your inkwell. But what seemed to have gone wrong there for the Toronto Slab Shark player?
Yeah, I think Dale needs to come out of the gates a lot faster. It was cute getting all the extra ink and everything, but Quigley getting to 7 ink, 8 ink, just being able to play Haymaker after Haymaker. I know Haymaker just played, but Quigley's got some in his deck as well. So Dale would really love to just have some kind of more aggressive start, because like we said earlier, the deck is very fair.
Yeah.
in an unfair world of Disney Lorcana. So
Yeah.
what do
You're
you
trying to play
think?
you're trying to play a straight up and down game. I like the approach. I like the Webby Vanderquack on the draw. It seemed like it was good. It is a little bit better on the play, but on the play, it is a bit better on the draw, but it still was great. You had tremendous value there. You were getting up in lore, but you just have to maybe those Ursulas, you got to time them a little bit better to get some value. Even though I think Quigley might have ripped that under the sea off the top of the deck there, and then was able to deploy it immediately. So your Ursula was not able to protect you. However, if that thing could get a hit, that's probably going to be a big part of your win condition. Having the Ursula carry some water, have that Webby Vanderquack come in, gain some resources for you, and just like you said, get very aggressive. And hopefully that could be the way that you end up closing this gap a little bit. But I think this detective version might be better in this particular situation than the standard build. Because you have some early interaction and you can kind of board fight a little bit sooner than the actual blue-green standard version that we saw win that DLC and had great performances all weekend.
Yeah, it's hard to quest into a 2-1 Basil with most things in Dale's deck because it could always just get shifted into a much bigger problem.
And you're done after that. If that happens, if you get a clean shift plusing situation there, followed by a discard that next turn, it's going to be very, very difficult to recover from that. So Dale has to be super, super careful in these types of situations as he's now back on the play. Patent pending hand tap on the oak mahogany table. What kind of wood is that? What kind of wood do you think that is?
I'm not an expert myself.
Okay, if you had to guess, it looks like it does look like it looks like a sequoia mahogany type bead there.
Yeah, my brother, no, I'm not, was in chat earlier and said mahogany. So
okay,
I'm with
like
you guys.
Maybe a cedar, but potentially it's definitely a hardwood for sure. I'm not certain. We have to find out. We have to ask again. As we are going to start Webby Vanderquack one more time.
Yeah, not really the matchup for that Iago. Happy to put in the Inkwell early.
And we'll also match with that Basil. So just like you said, that one cost Basil being able to help slow down the aggression of that early game and kind of fight back. Also representing that shift line. Let's see if if Dale can hit that shift Webby Vanderquack on 2 again for the second time in a row. These Diablo players basically just became Webby players and they just never miss. Let's see if Mr. Bleed is going to miss this time.
Yeah, I mean, even if he hits it, again, if Quigley ramps, the following turn is shift Basil. And then do you even quest into it to get that value?
Right.
It's rough.
Scary days. I don't know, man. This is why I like this. I like this detective deck. I had a good time playing it this weekend. I had some had a pretty okay 5-3 showing there. I wish I'd have done a little bit better. Maybe if I didn't wear the costume, maybe I could have done a little bit better. I was sweating. It was like 200 degrees in the venue.
But the costume was so good. Yeah, Saturday, way hotter than Friday. But yeah, the costume, you looked absolutely fire. Appreciate you played the Prodigy Player 12 on Friday.
Of course.
I know that meant the world to him. He's always in your streams.
I love the Prodigy Player 12. I was glad to meet him. I didn't realize that they were that young. I wish I'd have known. I would have brought something special for him for the.
He was 12 when he made that name. I told him to change it to 13, but he just won't.
That's pretty cool. As the DLC champion MVP Tipo is being deployed to the field and sending another card from Joseph Quick with hands down to the Inkwell. So here we go.
Thinking Clarabelle, maybe a little cat and mouse game of, hey, I just get rid of my Clarabelle. Go ahead and play your Chromacon now.
Yeah, get your hand, and also get your get your Chromacon down. So you'll never see it coming. As Dale could, I've called Dale everything today. Oh my goodness, my brain is melting. Call him Dale, call him Bell, call him Dave. I'm like, what am I doing?
But Dell is half his last name, so that one was fine.
he could go ahead and get that Chromacon deployed here. But I still think it might be a trap. You might be onto something. Clarabelle comes through, breaks it, and then sets himself up for the shift or that shift Basil. That's probably the line that Dale is looking into right now and forcing them to have it. Is it worth that ink and the 2 lore to lose your shifted character and probably subsequently the game in short order?
Yeah, I mean, you could always just leave your Webby stood upright. You could do your normal ink for the turn and then later quest on a turn that you're going to bounce it, or quest on a turn where Quigley kind of wants to use more of his ink and doesn't want to shift the Basil.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but right now you're just playing right into that curve, and it's they do say you make them have it, make them have it, make them have it. I just don't know how to judge between making them have it and just getting wrecked, and I usually just get wrecked by
I agree.
just playing around.
Same.
I don't want to get wrecked, so he could go for it, get that 2 lore, get that ramp, but you're gonna get shift Basil, and it's gonna be a lot of pain coming your way. So Dale in the thought vault, thinking deeply about this exact situation, pondering.
Yeah, if I was in production, I'd throw that TikTok up on the left side. That was me, round 1.
You throw the TikTok, you throw the hurry up, not hurry up. What is it?
Yeah,
I think I have
can't
access.
remember it right now.
I think I
The
have
Ruby.
access to the bot. Let's see. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know. Luke might have nerfed me, so I don't think I have it anymore. I've been nerfed.
I had to specifically ask for it.
Yeah, I had it for a moment. He
Time to
nerfed me.
go.
Time to go.
Yeah.
And it is the Ursula Deceiver. So Ursula now.
Yeah, let's see if there is a Basil in that hand.
And
not
there
the scary
wasn't. Oh man, there was not a Basil shift. So now Dale is able to quest freely, but you
Right.
still could draw it off the top, and that's when I would quit the game immediately. As you do
Yeah.
everything right, and it just does not work out for you. As you feel free and clear to get that quest in for 2. Get yourself that acceleration you wanted. Ursula showing tremendous value, but she didn't hit again, though.
I feel all discard cards, not all. I feel they should design some discard cards that say, and the top card of their deck. Right? Look at their hand and the top card of their deck. Discard 1 card.
Either from their hand or the top of the deck?
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Top of the deck, they don't lose any resources.
I don't mind it.
Yeah.
But I don't mind it. I think that'd be a good idea. If he shifts this Basil, I'm running away if I'm Dale. But I think he slams it immediately if he did have it.
Well, Quigley is a villain, so.
Oh man. Is he a villain? I think he's a nice guy, man. He's a nice happening dude.
Yeah, it's almost like that's the joke, but no.
But is he might be villainous. I mean, you're on Villain Club, so you would know who is a villain and who isn't.
He is so nice, but then plays the meanest decks
all the time. Like the discard.
Always. Yeah.
Under the sea discard deck, this deck. Yeah. Well, this deck is pretty chill. This deck is tame. This deck is fun.
No. Anything with Prince Philip combo makes me think, you know what? I do like being in that booth, actually. I enjoy that very much. Thank you. Thank you, Luke. I appreciate you.
Come on in, please. I'm Mr. Burns now. I'm fine with it. And there it is. So it looks like we're going to go ahead and send out the gift. Daisy Duck Donald's date. Perfect Gentleman is going to be out there, Donald Duck style. Pass back on over to more ducks on Dale's side. So it's nonstop ducks all the time as Webby Vanderquack now thinking about going on another quest. Now you have a threat with Basil being able to boost the Scrooge. You can finally clear this Webby Vanderquack, and then Dale's position will falter a bit, but he has a ton of resources in hand, so he's not too compromised by losing it, as it looks like we're going for a quest.
Yeah. Also, Quigley had more ramp in hand. May have wanted to just go ahead and get up to 7 real quick instead of playing this Donald Duck, but was kind of forced to just play the Donald Duck because of the Webby, and Webby getting protected by Madam M Elephant.
I like that play so much, man. I think that is such a good line. Getting your 2 lore, I believe you were able to. I don't think you were able to. Were you able to ramp yourself, or were you all knotted up on ink?
Couldn't do it, but that's okay. It got so much value already. Go ahead and then turn it into ink. It basically drew your card.
Yeah. Essentially, yeah. But you are going to redeploy the smaller Webby Vanderquack again. And now Ursula looking like she's gearing up to go on a little quest, a little spirit journey, staring down this with this Madam M elephant protection. I think you feel a bit comfortable to send this octopus on a quest.
Yeah, when I have the elephant in play, I call the rest of my cards bait. Right? You're just trying to get your opponent to turn sideways somehow. I really like playing locations. You were talking about earlier. Locations look like they're back in a big way. I absolutely love that. It gets people getting in the red zone more.
Yeah, I like that. Getting in the red zone. I like that. Just getting out. And me personally, I think I just like the idea of our game just having a multitude of different ways to play, different ways to approach the game. The fact that we don't have a location based strat that is tournament viable, playable deck, I think is a mistake. We don't really have an items based deck that is tournament viable. We do have a ramp based deck. We have an aggro based deck. I would like to see all facets of our format be expressed on the competitive scene, and I think we're going to get back there the way that the game design team is putting these cards on. Just some of the identities we've seen and some of the reveals so far indicate that that is the case. So I'm with you. Getting in the red zone, just forcing people into a certain style of thing, I think is a great way to go about it. So shout out to the game design team. Keep it rocking.
They're all stars.
I love it. I couldn't do it. I don't think I could do that job. I think I'd be too. I break the game too many times. I don't know balance well enough. As Judy Hobbs is trying to balance out the hand a little bit. Let's see if she gets another hit, and she will not.
Finding nothing. Well, we did just ink 2 detectives to play her. So
the whiff is on as the stare down commences. Now you have this very troublesome and problematic Madam Mim elephant just anchoring this entire position together. You have that Webby Vanderquack who's threatening a potential secondary shift, so you can't really quest or you're going to lose your characters as a plus, and that's the last thing you ever want to get against anyone. As Dale now on the approach, what are you going to do? Maybe this is a world where you start setting up that Prince Philip. It looks like Joseph Quigley is going quite wide into your position, and he's low resource as well. So if you put out that Warder Prince Philip threatening the combination, this could be a way that you can turn this thing around and just win the game outright. But never mind. It's just a shifting quest.
I would be worried about an Under the Sea. Quigley has assembled Singer 8, Sing Together 8.
And it was so potent last time as well. That is a very, very great point. Dale did just shift right into it. You already deployed your Ursula. I'm not certain how many Ursula Deceivers you are playing. I would only imagine it's somewhere around the 2, maybe 3 copies. And you send another 4 cost 2 strength character into the play. This could be Danger Zone coming in from Dale Bolito, who is looking for a quest with this Madam Mim. Could it happen? I think the game ends there if it does.
Yeah, which I know we already brought up, but that quest with the Ursula, loved it. Something people don't think about. 1 lore, 5% of the way to victory.
I
mean, that's
is that true? 1 lore, 5%?
Yeah. Imagine if you got 5% of your yearly pay just from doing something.
Just doing
1 lore, 5% on the way to victory. I told all my locals that, and it's changed their entire outlook on the game.
You changed my outlook on the game because I didn't have 5%. I mean, that's insane to
Everyone
think about it
you
that
missed. Everyone you missed, 5% that you missed out on. So
that's crazy to even consider. Get the lore. If you don't quest, you don't win. There you go. As it looks like we got another Donald Duck trigger. So it looks like this could be a potential for the Under the Sea. How much ink do we have there? You could even manually just deploy it again. 3, 6, 7.
6, 7.
I'm glad that's over. I think it's over.
I taught my kids that because they're homeschooled, so they didn't have anyone else to teach them that.
Yeah.
So I was the one that sullied them.
That's for no reason, man. That was completely unnecessary. I think the 6-7 thing is over. I want to say, according to my youngest daughter, who was big 6-7 gamer, she said it's done. Like it's after the new year, all the
once
kids
parents
all
got
agreed
on it
was over.
Yeah, once parents got on it, it's like it's not cool anymore.
Yeah, it's done. We're not 6-7 gamers anymore.
Although, funny enough, if anyone pulled the Golden Mickey that was 67, they might got a come up after that.
I think they might have already just shredded that one. I think they shredded 69. I think they shredded 420, and I think they're now going to shred 6-7, and no one ever gets it.
Is that an official from Ravensburger stance?
No. This is just me speculating.
Okay.
This is me speculating wildly, as it looks like we got the Donald.
It looks like a bend is going to come along here. That's what that looks like.
Oh no!
The fact that we're not hitting our own TPO. Oof.
Yeah. This looks like a a bend to my will type. And I always tell people now, like, if you're gonna do it, just do it. Don't
Just show it.
just
Yeah,
show it
if
before I draw these cards, because I don't want to get emotionally attached to my cards if you're gonna do this to me.
yeah, if he bends now, I think we have to just go to game 3.
Mm,
But, I just thought of something, though. The judges probably wouldn't like that.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I was just thinking
Okay.
about that.
That is
But
true.
still, I wouldn't be able to do it to someone. I mean, this is,
My
again, Joseph Quigley, absolutely villainous here. Look at him shaking. Look at Tigger go, bouncing up and down. He's laughing over there. You can't tell me this guy's not villainous.
it's about to be a bend in my will. You can already tell, unless he just slams Clarabelle here and draws a billion. But it's been my will
Of
every
course
single
not.
time.
Of course not.
And we're gonna lose all those cards.
Oh,
into
and he
this
wants to look at it?
And these are some really, really good units too. One of my bigger pet peeves now that I've realized that I didn't realize before is that if someone plays bend to my will against me, and then at the end of my turn, because you get like muscle memory, hey, cards in hand, how many cards you got in hand? The
Oh,
turn after
man.
you bend to my will and be like, hey, how many cards you got in your hand? I'm like, dude, you know how many cards I have in my hand. I
Yeah.
get tilted, I get kind of upset there, but I mean that doesn't
No.
happen as often as you would think.
When I play Demona and say go and my opponent says cards in hand, I'm just like, really? Yeah,
Come on.
Clarabelle off the top would have been fire from Dale, but we haven't seen one. Not sure if it's in the deck.
I don't know how good it would have been. I think Joseph Quigley had one card in hand. I think that Bend in My Will was the last card, and he would have had a nice 7-cost character on board with a 5-6 stat line, but I don't think he would have gained too many resources there. As Quigley does have a low hand state, we are going to quest this Judith Hops, first of her name, for 1. And it is going to hit. I believe that's another Judy Hops.
Another Judy Hops. Rabbits are multiplying.
And you can just go ahead and deploy that Judy Hops now. And this is when those detectives are looking at their best in these low resource games. And now you have this engine that is just rolling out of the station, being able to continue to fill your hands with these detectives who are being added. And there is a Basil. You now have the ink to shift that Basil as well, and then crack back onto this Webby Vanderquack. If that is the play you want to make, it is available to you. And here it is. The stare down commences one more time. Joseph Quigley is notably only at 2 lore again. Dale has sneakily jumped all the way up to 13 again.
Yeah. If Dale can just draw a character a turn, he has not lost yet. It's looking grim, but he has not lost yet, especially with Donald Duck on Quigley's side.
And it looks like I think you might be onto something there. I think you got to just continue to quest and go all in on this this go-go play off the tizzy one more time. Is the card that you are going to be hoping bails you out of this situation. Maybe continue to just deploy characters every turn. Maybe you can get to that boost Flynn, redeploy the Webby with a second copy of Madam M Elephant. So you're keeping that Webby Vanderquack up and active. One card still in hand is Del Bolito. You can redeploy that warded 4-cost character. Never mind. Forget anything.
Do we have a Dumbo? Oh, we have another
Webby.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'd ink that. I
think you have to, because
Quigley has the Basil, but then Quigley has to ink, has to pay the ink.
That's very true. And I think at this moment you kind of are hoping for no Malicious Mean and Scary Prince Philip combo here, as well as these Judy Hops are just hip hopping all around the town. But every time you trigger these Judy Hops, you are sending your combos to the bottom of the deck, sending your cards you need, your Clarabelles and everything else. Granted, you don't need Clarabelle now, but all your combo pieces are going to the bottom of the deck as well. But you are sort of finding more detectives. You're probably looking for
you're also
that 7
probably
cost
mapping your deck. Like what's coming up at a certain point.
Oh, you got to have a good memory. I had a situation that came up over the weekend. I don't want to tell too many of my terrible stories, but I was sending so many cards to the bottom of my deck, and I was like, I know what I sent. I've sat there for like 4 minutes just trying to think of when did I send this card to the bottom of my deck and how many cards I sent since then, and I just couldn't do it. I was like, man, I'm too stupid for this.
Yeah. Interesting. So, Dale was drawing off Donald Duck, right? So he did have insulation from the Basil, naturally. But if he inks every turn, he does have the option to draw Demona and play multiple cards. So I feel like that was his real big debate. I know we're joking around a little bit about it, but there was some decent strategy going on there.
Yeah, and he just, I think, and maybe setting yourself up for a potential 12 ink play where you can go for a Philip and Malicious Scary at one fell swoop. If you can get to that threshold, and that would get you right back into this game. We did see Dale does have access to at least one copy of the Giant Prince Philip and multiple copies of the smaller one. That could be a line that you're trying to set yourself up for. Joseph now does have the opportunity to go in for a discard, but electing not to do so, maybe preserving the cards that you have in hand. But this is looking very, very good for Joseph Quigley here. Del Bolito now staring down absolute oblivion, a whole horde of rabbits. I would just be so terrified of all these rabbits chasing me down and hip hopping all over the place.
Yeah, Tipo, the only human on Quigley's side of the board.
Is he a human? Is he a beast? He might be a beast, man. Tipo, that ain't no man. Oh, something like that. As he just won the DLC, and I will never forget that for the rest of my life.
So you didn't play Tipo, right? You just played Sale since you hate Tipo so much.
I played Tipo. I think the card is insane. I think it's broken. You got to play it. Like, I think the card is so broken that you have to play it.
It is quite good. An inkable ramp card that can win you the game.
And quest and challenge for one too. I mean, that challenge for one comes up with Prince Philip. You just slam him in and then boom, put a damage on something. He should be 0. He should have 0 strength and reckless. No lore. And be uninkable.
And reckless. Yeah, we'll just make him Ruby.
This is a Ruby card.
He could have been a decent dual link, actually.
Yeah, red blue. Why not, man? They got to make this guy a little bit weaker. I think he's a bit too strong, in my opinion.
Yeah. So, real quick in chat, this is the Basil that you ink to discard a card.
Mm-hmm.
The 7 cost Basil is the one that discards on questing.
So, and we still can trigger that ability here with the Donald. The Donald now.
Were we fully? No cards in hand. I think we're fully exerted though.
Oh, I think he has no cards in hand anyway. Or does he have more cards?
He has one card under that.
Okay, gotcha. Oh, we're all exerted up. Okay, fair enough. But now Dale, who is on the approach, it looks like it is the Elsa Fifth Spirit. Is that going to be enough? It is not. And it looks like the stare down goes on. We have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 coming back. So you are going to have to do some heavy lifting to try to set yourself up for this go off the top. You have to get at least 3 lore off the board. So that Focus Flatfoot is looking tempting. Also, the Basil Disguised Detective is looking quite good. Excuse me.
Oh,
quite
Violet.
good as well. What's Violet doing? Violet, you're turning Violet.
It's evasive, and it's a 3/1.
That's it.
Yep.
Just being a
also
5.
ally. Yeah. But, the elephant can freely take this Donald Duck Perfect Gentleman, although you might not want to if Go-Go is your out, because you get 2 shots at it, potentially, if Quigley does not ink again.
Yeah, but I think I'd go after I just hit the Tipo just off of principles there. And
we know what you
I'm taking out the Tipo just because he exists. I'm just gonna lose the game as long as Tipo's not on the board. Oh man. But yeah, I think you gotta get after the you can't I don't think you can do it. Well, you can send the elephant and the Elsa into the Basil. Neither will perish, and you'll also load some damage up onto both of those characters for a potential Cheshire Cat. And then the Webby takes down the Tipo, and I think you survive. Am I wrong?
No, I believe we only have to clear 3 lore. We might want to quest with the Webby though, so that 17's a lot closer. If we do find the mythological Go-Go that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, but now we are going to go ahead and send another hit into. I think that takes down the Tipo, and we are going to take your advice and get a little quest in for 3. And I believe that's enough to stop Mr. Pandemonium Heart. And it's I think you need one more lore off the board. I could be mistaken. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right now, no, you are short 1. So you are good to go here with the amount of lore removed.
Until we get that shift Judy Hops.
Bruh, can you imagine?
I'm actually
I know he
I was
plays it.
shocked when we saw the 3-cost Judy Hops. That was basically Benja. I thought we'd have a shift coming down the line, especially with the movies coming out.
Yeah, it does exist, and he does play that card in his deck. So it is a very, very. And you got 3 chances to find the thing too. So you can dig at least 2 times. I'm sorry, you can go at least two cracks at it with the 2 quests from Judy Hopps to dig for 6 cards to look for 1 copy of that Judy Hopps. I think you played 1 of them, at least in your tournament deck. You did. Insane game that is coming down to this. Seeing these detectives pop off like this. Notably, Joseph hasn't done in any of these games we've seen so far. We've seen 0 Claire Bell stuff. We've seen 0 Prince Philip stuff. This has been a full all-in detectives showcase here. We're really trying to sell the detectives side of this deck.
Yeah, we should also mention this is the game that Bend to My Will hit about 30 cards.
That is true.
Right?
That did happen. Never mind.
And it's still going, which is impressive.
Yeah, to say the least.
And we're only in game 2.
Oh man, so yeah, this is not over. I believe it is now. What do you do though? Do you gamble on looking for this big Judy Hopps? I mean, you have 6 checks for it that you could reasonably go for before that shift onto the final version. But if you don't find it, you now have those 3 characters that are remaining. You have to pretty much go for a board clear in order to survive, because Dell is keeping the pressure up.
Yeah, you also have already looked at basically the bottom 24 cards of your deck at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to know if it's close to the top or not. If you're quickly.
He's running the numbers right now. He's got a high-powered brain doing the calculations and seeing if it's worth it. I'd go for it. I mean, that's you win the game if you get it. If you can quest, maybe you go for 1, check 3, see if you got it. If you have it in the deck, and it looks like he's going for it. So that's 1, 2, 3. If you get a shift Judy Hopps, you win the game. I can't tell what card that is that was added, but there was
Emerald, uncommon, must be a Basil.
Okay. And now you can potentially go for another quest with Judy. We're looking for the 6-cost Judy Hopps.
And this is your last shot to look for it. Is that it? It's behind the end call button on my screen.
Yeah, it's behind my. We can move that. I think you can move that little button. But
I don't want to crash. I don't want to crash the computer.
Okay. it was But now you have to challenge, and I think you have to get after the Webby. You have these evasive characters as well, so they are representing an additional 2 lore. Go-Go still forever present, looming in the shadows. This is an incredible game so far.
Yeah, I mean, you have to send, barring whatever's in Quigley's hand, you have to send 2 characters into the elephant. Those characters have to be Judy and Donald. Then the Basil has to take the Webby.
Yeah, and I think you gained another one of the Basils. I believe his name is. Shout out Luke. He sent me the lore bond. I can pull this up.
Oddly, Malicious Me and Scary would be so good right now. It'd clear the 3/1 evasive. You'd only have to send 1 character into the Webby. You can go ahead and quest with the other characters because the evasive and the Webby would be off the board, and you're threatening, to win the game the following turn.
You're putting your own win condition in play. Yeah, the undercover detective, I think, was added off of one of those Judy Hopps. So you will be able to send something back to him. Maybe have to send that evasive Webby,
the
violet Saberwing back to the hand, and then clear everything else and continue to play the game that way. But you also have to keep in the back of your mind, is there a way that you can keep as much damage off your characters as possible to prevent this go-go situation? As we
and
are
is
going
here
to start.
Prince Philip coming? Yep, there's Prince Philip.
And there he is, Mr. Dashing and Daring, Courageous and Caring. Mr. Prince Philip comes on through. And I remember when this guy was the biggest bulk card ever, like the biggest who cares guy around. And now look at him just destroying the metagame. You hate to see it. He hit the go-go.
He hit the go-go.
Oh,
and he could challenge into the Basil, putting 3 damage on it. I thought it was a joke. I thought he was pulling it off like from the side, like, if only I had this. He hit the go-go
That is
Tamago, forcing a game
insane.
3.
Oh my goodness. That is actually, were we in an ad when the go-go popped off? There's
I hope
no,
not. I
oh
hope not. And
my,
if you were
oh my
in an ad,
gosh.
you better
That was
subscribe.
insanity.
They're in an ad
Yo.
right now, so only the real ones know what's happening at this moment. Thank you so
Dang.
much. Thank you so much for those subscriptions out there, by the way.
Oh,
Wow.
my.
Forcing a game 3. Unbelievable.
I looked
Quigley
away
took
for the,
about 5 minutes just to play a Prince Philip to wipe his whole board just to go to a game 3.
but he needed to get, I think he needed to get that violet off the board as well. So I think you needed to have a malicious mean and scary there. You need a
Yeah.
full combo instead of just a half combo, but I thought you negotiated it quite nicely. Dale showing some serious mental toughness and resilience by playing through that very powerful bend to my will turn. I thought it was actually just Jova right there, but staying true to the plan, fighting through, continue to quest, putting up a position to win, and your deck bailing you out. You love to see it if you are Dale Bolito. Now, Mr. Quigley, who's going to be on the play for the first time in forever. How do you bounce back from that, taking a tough loss? You just got to be mentally tough.
Yeah,
How
I
do
was
you do
gonna
it?
say mentally, I don't know. As far as gameplay goes, though, I feel like Quigley has been so favored. I mean, just watching every
Yeah.
game has been Dale barely squeaking up there, barely getting that lore early on. And now that he's going to be on the draw, he's going to be getting even less free quests in. So
I don't know if he can continue to find that Webby Vanderquack he found at game 1 and game 2. Now you're on the draw. If you can get the Webby Vanderquack again, it looks like you're altering hard for it, holding on to one card, preparing to ship 6 to look for it. That way you can shift and then start to catch up with that ink and get some value there. I don't hate that approach at all, but you got to find it. You got to get to it, as it looks like Mr. Bolito is changed the dive plan a little bit. Quigley now, whenever you see a blue-green player not send 7, you know that something cool has happened to their hand, as they found that ramp on 2, and now they can sculpt their hand a little bit better. I was shipping
yeah.
7 all day this
Although
Saturday.
some decks you don't have to. Some decks you're gonna wanna play the fair game. I know it sounds weird, but like sometimes you just want to play a Phillip on 3, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then you're just gonna go ahead and shift the Phillip on 6. But
Okay.
yeah, most of the time you do ship a full 7 though.
I should have tried that a few times. I was like, I don't have ramp on 2. I'm sending it all. I didn't even think about it. Just cut that whole line of thought out of my mind. Look at my hand, look for sale, look for Tipo, don't have it, gone. And then just keep it absolutely positively pushing. That's probably why I lost a little bit more than I should have. As what an incredible game number 2. Here we are for all the marbles. Dale Bolito trying to force the all-important game number 3. Joseph Quigley trying to get a nice early evening and get home in halftime by getting the 2-0 victory into the battlefield, trying to go back-to-back our first 2 seasons of the ICL. They're trying to win them both, and they are in a prime position to do that. I think their team is playing on all cylinders, as the Slab Sharks will not be denied. They are trying to place their name in history as an ICL champion. Can you get it done? It all rides on this game. Can Dale solve the puzzle and solve the case against these detectives, as Demona in the inkwell with a Webby Vanderquack on 1. Rare Indigenous shift 3 games in a row. Can you do it?
Yep, he's halfway there. Well, by the way, I hope a lot of people, or at least someone, clipped that. ICL is going to need that for all socials for the next year and a half. Appreciate that.
I looked away for a second, dude. I stared away for the briefest of moment. Now I'm looking at the wrong screen. Oh my god, I'm on the wrong screen like a freaking first day on the job.
Haymaker's got us.
Oh, appreciate it, Haymaker. Shout out to Haymaker, by the way. Shout out to all the Slab Sharks again. I love that squad. Again, without them, I would not have my uncut sheet. Shout out to them for grinding, winning these tickets, being fair on the trades.
Looks like Quigley is a little worried about this turn. Maybe considering not ramping.
Maybe taking your approach, maybe playing into that shift on the draw to help Dale catch up. could be of weight, but I think still, even if you ink for turn, they still will get value from it. So you might as well go all in and just get your ramp in if you have it. Maybe Quigley does not have ramp on 2, and that just feels terrible, especially after getting go-go'd for your whole
Well,
life savings in a previous game.
Yeah, he didn't ship 7, so that would kind of be his own fault. But he could, of course, look at the top 5 cards of his deck right now, find that Prince Philip, next turn, sail, ink, have 3 ink, play the Prince Philip, still be playing everything on curve, still be getting to the Philip shift line on curve.
Mm-hmm.
There's the visions.
And it is going to
There's
be
your
that
best
growing
friend.
sun. That growing sun, Tipo, is going to be down and active. And oh my goodness, if there is a card that should get banned, it's Tipo. Get him out of here. Take Sail with you, by the way. Both of them can go. I want people struggling. I want people playing Ichabod Crane, and I want people playing Tadashi. I want struggle.
I like
ramp.
that card. I like Ichabod Crane.
I think it's a good card.
That one's
It's
right
never
here.
getting played. It's never getting played with Tipo around. That card's never getting played. It's
We
never
need
getting played.
Sapphire. Make Sapphire aggressive again.
Make Sapphire struggle again. We need some struggle. Okay. I want people struggling when they're deck building. I think Tipo is just too easy. When you say, okay, I'm playing Sapphire, 4 Sail, 4 Tipo, next, you don't even think about it. You turn your brain off and put them in the deck.
Inkable's powerful.
It's insane. Okay.
When
It's insane.
I first started playing this game, I thought we were gonna get to like 30 uninkable decks, and you just have to be real strict about it, right? There's other card games where you put 20, 30 cards in your deck that are just ink, right? So I'm like, oh yeah, we'll probably just play it, a fair 30 uninkable deck. Now I'm realizing the fact that your card says whatever it says, plus I can be a resource, is just too good.
Yeah, when you can legally play a deck with like 4 uninkable cards and have it be functionally fine, that's a problem. Okay, people need to be struggling, Mr. Burns. There need to be struggle out here. I don't think there's enough struggle in this game. I need suffering. I need people having a bad time because their deck failed them. We need more failure.
Nothing on 2.
Oof, no ramp, no shift. Ugh. That's not the sign. That's not the turn that Mr. Bolito needed. I'm sure Mr. Quigley recognizes this and senses there might be a little bit of ink in the water, and now trying to pin his ears back and keep that aggression rolling. Maybe we got another 4-cross play. Is it that Judy Hopps, or maybe we send Donald in now?
Yeah, I would definitely hit a quest there. I mean, again, 5% of the way. The Tipo only being a 1/2. I do like inking Hades in this matchup a ton. I actually kind of want to cut back on Hades if Emerald Sapphire is getting played more, because they just say, draw 2. Draw 2, discard your hand. Draw 2, I'll play Clarabelle.
Yeah, right on. Yeah. Go ahead. You have the quickest 2 of my life. In that situation, as Tipo now getting his 5% quest in, Donald Duck, Daisy's date, or excuse me, the Perfect Gentleman is going to be on out there, and he's going to be able to give Dale a few more cards and quest for 2, as it looks like Mr. Pandemonium Heart is fine with this situation. We haven't seen any Clarabelles coming in from the Pandemonium Heart side of the board, as we will take your approach. Bring out Prince Philip raw on turn number 3 and just make him a looming threat to stare down the spot. Double Malicious Mean is the punish.
Absolutely. Who allowed it so ward characters could sing? That's what I want to know.
I don't know, man. There's a lot of mistakes. I think reckless characters should not be able to sing. Warded characters for sure should not be able to sing. There's a lot of things that I would clean up. I take a broom and let's get a broom and let's clean it up.
Yeah.
Reckless singing is much worse than warded singing. I think reckless being able to sing is just
silly. You could sing while you're running into the
Come on, man. You should be reckless. Why are you? What did I say except you're welcome? Especially if I give your guy reckless, there's no way that you. Oh, I give Dumbo, or you shouldn't be able to exert. You shouldn't be able to do anything. You should be able to challenge. That's it. That's all you should be able to do. That's my rant. I will always make that rant until that changes. And we got there with alert. We did get alert there. So the rants were working.
Alert is nice.
That's one rant that I've been on for since I started playing this game, is that there were too many phrases for evasive on your turn, and I'm glad they solidified that as alert.
Yeah, Chromacon here. There was a character in set 1 that had alert.
Who's that?
It was the Donald Duck Musketeer. It said alert ! can challenge as though it had evasive. Evasive on your turn.
Yeah, there were like 13 or 14 characters that had a different thing for being evasive on your turn. And it was just so messy. I'm glad they just cleaned that up and made that its own unique keyword as we are still on our way. It looks like Prince Philip now. If you would like, you can go full combo, but you will bounce a lot of resources back under the sea.
Under the sea for one character.
Interesting.
But it does get around that Chromacon, and you're drawing an extra card off Clarabelle.
For sure.
Because you're getting that uninkable out of your hand. Although you sacrificed 5 lore
for that play. Interesting indeed. Maybe just trying. I didn't see that Clarabelle there until the very last moment, but having that there and just under the sea being the liability that it can be from time to time, that seemed like a low value under the sea to say the least. And you really didn't have a way to offload it. And just talking to Sky and to Fungus as well, both of them came to that conclusion independently, which I think is a phenomenal story, to just take the card out of your deck completely and just have it be on the sideline for the tournament, and both of those players having great success. So Joseph Quigley showing why that card can be cumbersome from time to time, and getting one cost character with your 8 ink uninkable card, you hate to see it. I mean, that's a fire to cannons if I ever seen one.
But Quigley does need to get to his Philip combo potentially before Dale's next turn. So I could see giving up 5 lore just to cycle through one more card in your deck. Dig a little bit deeper.
That's a nice card. I see what you did there. That's what you did there. As the stare down does commence, Dale is pot committed. You can blow up this card, and you are continuing to dig for the remaining pieces of your combination.
This is one of the issues, and I think it's a skill issue on my part of why I don't play this deck, is the frustration I get when I've got 2/3 of the way there.
Yeah. I just, or you go vision, because I had one, you go vision into vision into vision into vision into develop into whatever. You go through all this ink, and we're just gonna go for a bend here.
Yeah,
and that is another very, very powerful.
And he did have the combo in hand.
Oh man!
Wow! Every piece of the combo, 2 times over, was in hand. Actually, unbelievable. So Joseph Quigley, biggest villain in all of Canada. I think this might be the biggest crime ever committed in Canada, to be fair. They are very nice people.
Yeah, this is I know Dale pulled off a miracle in that previous game. You can't bend to my will and go full combo. No way, right?
Oof.
But
let's go ahead and banish your 3/1 as well.
Dang. That is brutality Omega, as now Mr. Quig is on the quest plan, and we'll just get rid of
and we'll do that one too. Why not?
Oh my goodness. As the Chromacon will continue to bounce, you can send I guess you could send the Donald, but you need the Donald on board in order to continue to draw some cards for yourself if you ever hope to win this. If you send a Tipo, then he'll just continue to redeploy it and ramp some more and just continue to set up that Clarabelle again. But you're one card, one Chromacon, and a dream. This is looking very poor for the DLC topping player Dale Bolito.
So this match is over. So what other topics can we talk about to fill time here for?
What? Your hair color? I like the hair color. I thought that was a very, very nice look that you had.
People
this weekend.
thought it was Hades inspired, and I totally said it was when everyone brought it up to me.
I thought it was. I thought it was like a total villain thing that was going on.
It was randomly picked by my wife out of our staff, but
that's
going to be game, as we were saying. I'm gonna have to figure out how to get into this interview thing.
Okay, I need to do that as well.
I'm incompetent.
You just go to the ICL and get into the chat there. I'll meet you there. You're already there. What do you mean?
Let me mute myself in here. Let's see.
All right. And
can you hear me in here?
Yep.
Gentlemen, can you hear? I can hear you, Mr. Burns. Can you hear me? Dale, can you hear me, Mr.
Burns? Great.
I can hear you guys.
Yo, yo, yo. Greetings, both of you gentlemen. Again, another phenomenal showcase of Disney Lorcana prowess. Forcing that game number 3 was Dale with that really, really powerful go-go off the top. But we're going to start with you, Mr. Quigley, achieving victory for the Enter the Battlefield squad, taking down your fellow Canadian counterpart, Slab Sharks. Both of you guys had a phenomenal season. You guys are going for that back-to-back championship run, and you are on the patent pending blue green detective strategy. You know how I got so much love for you and this deck. Can you just talk to the ICL really quickly about this strategy and what makes you play it? What made you play it for this event?
So I've been working on this deck for the entire set basically, and to be honest, with the quick turnaround after DLC Richmond, it was kind of just play your comfort, play your best deck, and just let the cards fall where they may. However, I do think against Slab Sharks with Dale likely having GP mid and Diego obviously being an amazing dogs player, I like detectives in those two specific matchups over stock. Mostly because of the Bathos shift line. It's really good at slowing down dogs, making their lives more complicated. And against green purple mid, how it usually tends to bully the blue decks is with, of course, the power of shift Webby and just easily being able. Stock blue green doesn't tend to have an answer for shift Webby, but this deck with the Bathos shift threat, it makes shift Webby a little bit harder. At least he had to think about it a bit more and try to play around it more, or else risk getting potentially punished. And I think that's quite valuable in this matchup, which is why I felt somewhat comfortable rolling this out today.
Okay, and we did make those calls here in the booth. We saw how the difference could be, how Webby was, and at least put Dale in positions where he had to kind of bring that Urslan and check to see if he had that shift Basil, and he wasn't able to just really get a lot of value with the Webby Vanderquack. But can you just take us back to that go-go game? Oh, you had a whole bouquet of bunnies just bouncing all over the place, and you were questioning, were you looking for the big Judy Hopps to potentially walk off? And what were some of the cards that you found in that situation?
This list doesn't have Big Judy. She was cut in
Mm.
part to actually fit 4 of both of these because I thought that was super important. I was hoping off the first Judy that I could have found the Basil 7, and with an Under the Sea in hand that may have been able to let me navigate to a point where I could have avoided the go-go by bouncing the 3/1, swinging the 2 leftover bunnies in to not leave damage on board, and then swinging Under the Sea, and that would have applied enough lore pressure while also dodging the go-go. Unfortunately, it didn't play out that way, and I kept trying to think of ways like maybe I could use my at that point, it's like, okay, I'm not playing our go-go. I must request bunnies to find value. I thought maybe I could like use my Battle 7 to bounce like one of my characters that has damage after swings the elephant, but there wasn't a pathway after that point. We just couldn't find any answer to make it work, unfortunately. And Dale did well in the late game, even after I gained control, to make sure that he put himself in a position where go-go top could get the win, and it was done in great fashion.
Absolutely. Always play their outs. But I was not alone. Here I had Mr. Burns with me, and he says that you're the most evil player in the game. I'm not certain, the most villainous player, I would say. Mr. Burns, he's here now. Do you want to back that up? Is that how you truly feel?
Yeah, Joseph Quigley. I mean, have you just been hanging out with Habibi too much? Were you actually born in America and transplanted to Canada? I mean, what's the backstory here of why you are just such a vile human being, if you will?
I don't know what I'll be honest. I've always enjoyed degenerate combo decks, and there's just something about me that just enjoys a little bit putting my opponent in tough positions. It's hard to describe. It's just such a thrill. You know, you don't get a lot of chances in the day to day, and I don't know why I'm getting pulled backward.
Again,
But
he's been hanging out with Habibi too much.
you don't get a lot of chances in the day to day to really let loose. And in the game of Lorcana, there's lots of villains, and it just feels good to embrace that side of you once in a while before having to be polite and calm. Sometimes life gets you down, and you just don't want to be polite. You just want to go a little ape shit, so to speak.
Okay.
Cut that. Cut it.
Cut it. Edit.
Let's also add that this is the Disney Lorcana trading card game. All right, the patented Disney Lorcana trading card game. So, can I move over to Dale real quick, just because? Well, Dale, I love you. You know I love you. We all really liked your playmat, and
Thank you.
I had $100 on you. All right, so you know.
I got you back. Don't worry.
All right, all right.
Tax season.
For sure.
But
for sure.
yeah, Mr. JDZ, do you have anything for Dale?
No, for Dale, I got a lot of stuff for Dale. Okay, first, handsome, crazy, hair,
Oh yeah.
crazy,
Oh,
play style, foot game, crazy. But you didn't get the dub here, unfortunately. Can you just talk about this matchup from your perspective? You had a pretty good run in the DLC. You earned yourself a Simba this weekend, which is no laughing matter, no slouch. The Slab Sharks were represented very well in this tournament. But can you just talk about this matchup in particular, and also the differences between this matchup and the more traditional standard Sapphire Emerald build?
yeah, I'm way better into standard.
Yeah.
I know how to play against Basil. Game 1. What they're setting up for. Can kind of tell with the amount of cards that he mulligans. So you can hear our match. But a lot of times I was asking, hey, do you remember how much you mulliganed? I was already talking about the plays he was going to do. Like, he took a long time on turn 2 in game 3 because he was considering double ramping the following turn and not giving me Webby. I didn't have
Yep.
Webby that game. The bigger bodies are more difficult than standard blue-green. But yeah, I was expecting to be on the draw. This was the game we were hoping to steal, hoping to win game 1. I mean, what do you know? ETB is an amazing team, and the underdogs win sometimes, so it's nice for them to win.
I like that. I do
Love it.
like that approach.
Absolutely love that.
The underdogs
Yeah.
coming through from
You
time
know
to
what?
time.
Like
Love
the
being the underdog.
Dodgers already won this year, so let the Blue Jays win this time. So
Right on. But just talk
Right
to us
on.
about that. So you did have a cool a go-go off the top.
Oh,
You had
yeah.
a pretty severe bent to my will in games number 2 and games number 3. But game number 2, you were able to kind of claw back, put yourself in a position to win, and your deck bailed you out. What did that feel like? That never happens for me.
do you remember what the card on the board was? It was Saberwing.
Yeah,
Yes.
Violet.
Yeah, Saberwing.
Do you remember the card you left in my hand? There's a Saberwing. So I'm just gonna pan the camera. Yeah, you left Saberwing in my hand because I top out.
Yeah. Right. Yes, that tracks.
I'm just gonna move my camera to the card I cut Saberwing for. I don't know
Oh.
if you can see that. It's a go-go. So I would have had
Wait, the
go-go.
Saberwing.
I just
Saberwing
cut it
go
out.
already. That's funny.
No. It was actually back-to-back go-go because I drew Saberwing.
That's funny.
I was like, oh man, I cut this for go. I cut go-go for this, and I still drew a go-go. Yeah, no, Joe and Elias, all the ETB guys are great. We love them. They're pretty much they're Lorcana family to us, and always nice to see these guys repping it. These guys are way better than. They're already good. Everyone knows how.
Likewise. Slab Sharks went so crazy this season. It was like ridiculous.
This was my first in SLTC, and I think Joe had a crazy run last season. He went like 10-1 or something.
This is your first loss in the ICL right now?
Yeah. Sorry.
That's insane.
Joe went 10-1 in ICL.
That is actually super impressive, man. So again, both of your teams, you guys have nothing to be ashamed of, especially the Slab Sharks. You guys there's no shame here in taking this loss. So far in the playoffs, you guys had an incredible season, and I'm hopeful that you guys will return for the follow-on season of the ICL that we have, season number 3, and see if you guys can continue to build upon what you have already established here. But I thought the match was phenomenal. I thought the gameplay was great. There was, every time I see you guys play, it's always an incredible experience. Toronto and Canada in general, just kind of doing it big. But I'm kicking off you, Mr. Burns. Anything you want to say before we start to close this thing up and sign on off for the next time?
No, I said everything I want to say. Dale, like I said in the pre-show, Dale's an angel. He's from the heavens. All right.
Okay.
Quigley is the devil.
Oh,
And
jeez,
here's my 100.
no more
that I
money.
bought.
Stop tearing up your money, man. You're gonna need that. You got kids you got to put through college.
It's
But
true.
gentlemen, I thought it was
Sure.
every time it's a phenomenal showing. ETB on their way for another back-to-back Digital Arcana ICL Challenge, ICL Championship. But we'll start with you, Mr. Bolito. Where are you going next? What's your next event that I'm going to see you at? Because it was incredible. It was a pleasure to see you again. And any shout-outs that you may have from the Slab Sharks.
Yeah, I'm gonna shout out my my sponsors, Slab Sharks, everyone on the team, Matt, Urban, Lazaro, Diego, Josh, Derek, obviously ETB guys, you, both you, love running with you guys and all these events. Everybody, everyone watching, everyone that put this together. Yeah, I don't know what the next event for me is because I was putting the game down after Richmond for a little while, but the way Ravensburg has been doing it, they're forcing everyone to put the game down in North America. So hopefully we get some CCQs here. Hopefully there is a reason for me to pretend that I'm not retiring for a little bit. But right now, probably Infinity format where I could bring Diablo back. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Unless we get a CCQ around then.
Okay.
And ICL, hopefully I have more free time. ICL for season 3.
Okay. I'm telling you, Dale, you can't quit or retire because I will have to quit or retire because you're the reason I'm playing this game. And if you're out of here, I'm out of here. So there it is. So now you're forced to play forever. And again, it's always a pleasure to see you out here in the dojo mixing it up. So anytime you have to sacrifice for the game, we'll all appreciate it. Okay, so we're gonna kick over to the Quickster. Don't be going ape s on us out here. There are kids watching this program, so please
sorry
your
about
ape,
that. I
put your
apologize.
put your ape in the cage while you can. But in the meantime, in between time, any shout outs that you want to give, and when am I going to see you again?
So shout outs to Slab Sharks. Love you guys. Love seeing another team from Canada and the GTA absolutely killing in the ICL this season. We showed together, I think, that the Toronto is the best place for Lorcana on this continent, no doubt. Got the best players, the hardest area to play in, no doubt. I shout out to team sponsors, Endgame TCG for sleeves and Twin Moon Studios for Matt. Shout outs to my amazing teammates who just love teasing me, but in the background here, always supporting me. Really appreciate all of them. Shout outs to all the judges and casters and everyone behind the scenes that made this season possible and has made it so much fun. And shout outs to FLTC. Looking forward to the rematch next week.
Oh wow. Okay. Are you going to any of the third party tournaments between now and DLC in Indianapolis?
Don't know yet. I'll definitely be trying to find opportunities to go to tournaments. So wherever is feasible, I guess it's tough here in Canada, but fingers crossed for a good CCQ, and I'll definitely be at that one.
Sounds good, Mr. Quigley, and thank you, gentlemen, both again for your participation. The ICL wouldn't be anything without you both. So please go back and celebrate and or commiserate with your organizations. And we're going to hop back into the booth and possibly close the show.
Thanks, guys.
You
Take
guys.
care. I got cooked by Google Chrome there. That one doesn't count. I'm back. I'm here. Did I beat somebody? I beat Mr. Burns. I beat someone back to the booth. Oh, man. It feels good to win one, Mr. Burns. Thank you for showing graceful charity to me and allowing me to win. Okay.
There we go. I'm good.
There it is. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know how to use a computer.
There it is.
I bought this computer just to make content. I've never owned one before.
Speaking of content, where are you making it at? Where can we find Mr. Burns?
You can find me now exclusively on Lore Chronicles on YouTube.
I like that show. You and Willow Bees do a great show.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate
it's a great
you
show.
so much.
I'm a big Willow Bees fan. I don't know if she told you, but I'm a fan
Oh yeah,
hard for Willow Bees.
she loves your wife.
Yes. Yeah,
So.
They're good friends. They're fast friends. They became friends almost immediately. Yeah. She took over, the production. But a big fan of what you guys are doing over there. And if you want to say anything else, any shout outs that you want to have. Wait, we're in an ad, so I need you to vamp for 30 seconds and then
for 30 seconds. Well, then I should thank Luke right now, right? While most people can't hear it.
Oh, it starts at 30
that
seconds. Oh, never mind.
starts
My
at
bad.
30
My bad.
seconds. I would never think, Luke. I'm just kidding. Thank you so much, Wonderland. I used to be bad for the brand, but now Mr. Burns is the brand. All right. So I appreciate you so much. And JDZ, thank you for commentating with me. I mean, if you heard I was going to be on, you could have said no. So I appreciate that.
I don't know. I mean, I like you. I know you don't like me, but I like you. So of course I would love to spend this time with you in the broadcasting booth. Okay, that's fair. I'll accept that. I don't believe you, but I'll accept it. Okay.
All right, we're gonna have to have a different conversation when we're gone from here.
Okay. Too easy. No, but it's always great. It's always great to have you come by, man. I know it's short notice to come through on the ICL and support what we're trying to do. It's always a nice time to share your voice with the community and your passion for fashion as well as broadcasting and your creative remarks, man. So make sure you guys are checking out Mr. Burns on the Lord Chronicles. If you guys aren't watching it, you're missing out on a real treat. The show is really nice. Willoughby's and Mr. Burns together have great chemistry, and it is a phenomenal program. So tune in to all episodes and the like, and we're going to have more. But in the ear, Luke, do you have the bracket of what's going to be happening here on the ICL? And we can talk about that for a brief moment. Woo! SLTC versus ETB. That's a lot of letters. That's a lot of acronyms.
Yeah, can we not get some acronyms in here for once? Yeah, can we get like a restand or something?
Versus Enter the Battlefield.
Yeah.
But is that a rematch of last year's finals? That's insane if that's the case. I believe that is the finals that we had
one of them
last year.
Like
I want to say
one of the brackets.
That's nuts, man. So this is the full final. So it's ETB versus SLTC, and that's it. That's wild. Wow. Okay. That's crazy. I guess we know who the best teams are, huh?
Yeah, and if you want to prove them otherwise, you need to step up your game and get in the ICL.
Yeah, I think that's that kind of goes without saying that we know who the best two squads are. And for everyone who's out here, ad gang, stand up. If you're seeing this thing through the break, you're a real one. Let us know for the next 24 seconds. Pop off and say, "Oh man, you guys are so funny," or talk about the cool things we're doing in between the ads to really encourage people to throw their prime subs in.
We gotta sell these subs for sure.
Oh man,
someone's got to top Snobby.
Anybody and nobody's playing ball, dude. Oh man, you guys stink. 7 seconds left.
They
5 seconds
around
left
to see who we rated.
Dang it, man. Oh well. All right, and the ad's over. Okay, you guys missed some really cool things happening in those ads.
JDZ, where can we find you, by the way?
Oh, you guys can find me anywhere. Okay, I'm JDZ.
Literally
I'm on Quest.
everywhere.
JDZ Quest. I'm on Twitch. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Instagram. Check me out. I'm on. I stream every day most of the time. I'll be streaming again tomorrow. So guys, make sure you tune in. And then I'll be this weekend. I'm going down to Collectors Expo. If you're in Southern California, you want to play in a really cool set championship that is also a 5K tournament, come on through. Collectors Expo is going to be in Southern California and Anaheim. I'll be there. Keeping it locked. Don't touch that dial. I'll see you guys all there this weekend. Whichever way you want to go. I mean, I'm fine with both of those options there.
I am not putting input because the other one will be mad at me.
That's what I'm saying. I'm with Mr. Burns. 1 billion, chillion, million, trillion% there.
I don't know if people are going to hear us. Luke's trying to put us in an awkward situation socially.
We are in Pomona. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not Anaheim. It's Pomona. My Southern California, my Southern California diagram is not right. You're going to be there. You're going to be there this weekend, Skydoll. I'm going to need you in the dojo as well. Mix it up on production if you can join me there. I'd appreciate it. If not, you're dead to me. How's that?
Whoa.
There's that. How's
Everyone's bad for the brand tonight, except Mr. Burns.
Yeah, Mr. Burns is I think I like Mr. Burns a little bit more than this other guy that we used to have, Mr. Dick Burns.
Well, you can thank Lorcana Villain. So.
Okay, that's fair.
He's been giving me some sage advice. He's a great friend and a great leader. And I always get my tea shipments, so I kind of got to do whatever he says.
Okay, cool. All right, but the Raid Dog Supreme Nasty 3 million is going through, and you know what time to do it. Looks like we're going to see Yabrizi, and I saw him this weekend as well, a bunch.
I was shocked.
I was surprised. I was shocked and surprised to see him out there, but it was always really nice to see young Yabrizi out there. It was good to see him. So it's going to be happening. So tune in. Until next time, my fellow Illumineers. Peace.
Thank you, everybody.